Hello, everybody. Welcome to second part of the Shady special.
It's me,
the ShadyPenguinn special of Knights of Eveningstar. Hello, everybody. I am your Dungeon Master, Mark SherlockHulmes, and I'm joined by my one player this week. Like the previous episode that we did, hopefully these go out sequentially. I'm pretty sure they will.
I'm pretty sure they might even air the same night. So
probably,
there's a chance.
yeah, it might just like go through. But basically. Welcome to the second part of our Tarkhal flashback here on Knights of Eveningstar. It's ShadyPenguinn, aka Jonathan Indovino.
Hi guys.
It round.
You did. I like that though. You know, it's spicing it up a little bit since just 1v1. You got to keep me on my toes. I get it.
Yeah, like the last time we did this, you had to rapidly purchase a pro license for the software you were using because otherwise the session would have ended about 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
But we don't have that problem this time, so it's all good.
No, we're good.
That was a good memory. I was just,
I like that you didn't bring it up till afterwards. You're like, did you just have to purchase the? I'm like, yes, I did. Yep. I was hoping no one noticed, but apparently everyone noticed. That's fine.
Well, I mean, maybe. Now they know.
Yeah.
So
either way,
fine. I'm going to do a very brief little recap.
Okay.
Because it was mainly a solo thing, but it's mainly for me and Shady. Let's be honest. To do the recap, and then we're gonna just jump straight into this.
Let's do it.
So. Out of game recap, we are basically doing these little flashbacks to showcase how the heroes of Eveningstar have acquired very powerful magic items that are tied into the stories and plots that they've kind of been building that we would have loved to have spent a lot more time going into them and doing probably whole seasons based on them, but we're kind of condensing them down for this final season, the 5th season, the last season, sad times. But yeah, we're doing these kind of like flashback scenes. In terms of recording, I think that this is probably going to be the first one that we've done. So maybe, the other ones will be slightly different or we're ironing out the kinks, but we had a pretty good time last time.
Oh yeah,
definitely. So, just a little bit of one-on-one Mark and Shady RP mainly. And that's what it is. The in-game recap is that, during the year-long the time skip, if you want to think of it that way, the year-long gap of Eveningstar, where the town is being developed. War is kind of coming to Cormyr and is settling in, and the players are the heroes are having to decide where their loyalties lies and what they may be doing. Somebody approaches Tarkhal regarding a pact that they made, unknowingly Tarkhal made with Willowsong, whom he believed to be the daughter of an archfey, turns out to be the daughter of a green dragon, and a green dragon herself. Willowsong, who has become this sort of spy mistress of Eveningstar, has been helping the party, has helped warn them of her mother Shadowbriar's plans and treachery and shenanigans, but is still trying to earn back that trust that was lost. And as part of that, one of the things that was requested was a way to break Tarkhal from the pact binding them together, which has a very visceral effect that any damage that Willowsong takes is reflected onto Tarkhal and vice versa. Not vice versa, the other way around. And is kind of connects them on a deeper level. And so to do so, Willowsong and Azara and their researcher Sarah Lee have investigated something called the Unseelie Court and the Queen of Air and Darkness, a very powerful archfey that lives in the Feywild, who apparently has an object, a weapon called Epilogue, a blade that can bring endings, that can end things no matter what they are. All sorts of different things can end, potentially including a pact between a dragon and a warlock. And that is where we pretty much pick up. You made your way into the Feywild with Willowsong. You made some preparations, which we'll leave to sort of reveal dramatically. I hope you remembered.
I got notes.
You got notes. Good. You made your way into the Feywild. You traveled to a place called Midnight Rime, which is the region that the Queen of Air and Darkness resides in and lords over. You met a hobgoblin, a foot soldier called Scatha, who basically was your carriage driver. She escorted you up to the castle, and you also got a first-hand look at how some of the rules of the Feywild work. Specifically, the Queen of Air and Darkness has laid out 3 rules in her realm, tricky and treacherous and not as easy and obvious as they seem. These rules are designed to sort of, give Fey the upper hand in some things, but could be used against them as well as information about the Queen herself. And you know that somewhere in her castle there is a secret vault, and you did your best to try and find it whilst masquerading as an assassin called Artemis Intreri. and Willowsong posing as herself, her more draconic form, a sort of hybrid between person and dragon, and playing the villain, very much playing the villain up to her mother's name. And you have attended this party under the guy's classic heist: attend the masquerade ball, find the vault, steal the stuff, get out. And that brings us to where we got to last time, which is you have located a secret door. Is it the vault? We don't know, but you found, go on.
No, nothing. I just want to know. I want to continue.
Well, we'll find out. You made your way to a place called the Queen's Gallery, which is this kind of very long corridor art gallery full of all sculptures and statues and all sorts of things. And inside, you examined a very large painting of the Queen of Air and Darkness, and just barely, because you were sort of suspicious of this particular area, you managed to locate what you think to be a seam of a door, very, very cleverly hidden into the paintwork and the lines of the painting itself. But you think that this is built into the wall and is not actually part of the painting itself. There are a couple of mechanics ongoing. We have a disguise score. You are currently disguised as Artemis Intreri, supposedly some sort of famous assassin. Your disguise score is currently 17, and you have 2 uses of your special disguise kit left. You also know that there are various agents patrolling this castle, which we will now refer to as unseelie agents. These are, sort of darker elves and darker fae that are more like spies, and they are kind of keeping undercover and watching out for things going on here. There are also regular guards who are patrolling around, and you know that parts of the castle are off limits for the party guests. Maybe you'll need to go to some of them. We don't know. And every time you move around, there's a chance that you might sort of like bump into people. You might have to try and blend in. And then lastly, and this is going to be a new thing for you, Shady, and we'll let you speak in a minute, boy. I will let you speak, but first I must talk to you about mechanics.
Please do.
Yes. The other thing is I'm going to introduce now is Willowsong's powers. Obviously, you are working with Willowsong in this. You are sort of a team. You are the sneaky thief. She is the magical brains, as a sort. And you have access to some of her powers. The first one being that she can take over she can sort of see through your eyes for a brief period of time. And whilst doing so, she can use the detect magic, see invisibility, and identify spells through you, basically, and help you identify, like, oh, there's a magical thing here. What does it do? However, there is a limitation. Because she becomes deaf and blind whilst doing this, she will only do it for about 1 minute in total, and then she needs at least 10 minutes to kind of set up an alibi, like a reason why she might go off on her own for a little bit, mingle in, make sure that people aren't getting suspicious. She also has several spells she can cast. She can use the spells Detect Thoughts, Suggestion, Charm Monster, and Dominate Person once each. She can use each of those once. And also, because of the Queen's rules, she cannot use these spells to cause a creature to put themselves at risk of physical harm or trauma.
What were those? There was Detect Thoughts, Dominate Person, Suggestion,
and Charm Monster. So Charm Monster and Dominate Person. So Dominate Person is obviously more direct, complete control. Charm Monster will allow them to basically befriend anybody. Detect Thoughts to read their mind, and then Suggestion to compel them to a certain course of action. And she can cast each of those once. But we'll probably need you to lure said NPCs or guards or whoever you want to cast them on to a discreet area. You will not simply be able to cast these spells in broad daylight. You'll need to find somewhere hidden and secluded to do so. And then finally, her last power is a classic femme fatale. She can flirt, intimidate, persuade, and otherwise use mundane distractions to lure guards and NPCs away for a brief period of time. Likewise, though, she's wary of doing this too often, and so you will have a 10-minute cooldown on using that power.
Okay.
And you can always just ask me for a reminder of what any of these things do.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. There's so many options now. It's like it's just a decision fatigue.
But you don't need to use them. They're there if you want them. You don't need them.
I want them, Mark.
Use them.
Okay, so I stumble, or I not stumble, but I managed to find some sort of crease in this painting, and it seems like this is a hidden door. Yeah.
I mean, it is. I can guarantee you, it is a secret door.
Okay, it is a secret door.
I can't actually send you the little sketches I made because I am not logged into my Discord. So you're going to get crappy paint drawings for one part of this.
Let's go.
Anyway, yes, it's a secret door. There is an unseelie agent in the Queen's Gallery currently, maybe not necessarily watching you, but it would be very difficult to maybe take immediate action without them noticing. You would either need to get rid of them or wait for them to move on or do something to dispose of them.
Okay. I have an idea.
Okay. Before you have an idea, I forgot one other thing.
Okay.
One other thing. You know how in like, movies and stealth games, you get to do the old like chokehold and then knock them out. In this, the way I've kind of been working out how that works, and basically if you can maintain a grapple on a creature, and you can maintain that grapple and you don't move, you basically can, if you can hold that chokehold long enough, you may be able to knock an NPC out. Even if it's not necessarily dealing damage, you may be able to basically render them unconscious by like kind of choke holding them.
Okay.
Obviously, they might break free. They might make noise. And you don't know how long it will take to knock them out, but that is an option. Like if you wanted to basically be a grapple, which is a athletics check contested by their athletics or acrobatics. And if you can keep hold of that chokehold, you can knock guards out as well without having to worry about hit points and things like that.
Okay.
Some guards you might be able to just knock out as well. You might just be able to like, karate, judo chop, James Bond style.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Okay. I like that. So I want to, because I can speak to Willowsong in my head, right?
Yes, you currently have telepathic communication. Yes.
So I just want to ask her, Willowsong, would you be able to join me in the scrolling up, Queen's Gallery?
Yes, I can. I can be there. You'll need to give me a few moments, but I'll make my excuses and make my way over there. I won't be able to linger long. We'll only have a brief period of time.
Okay, that's good. I'm gonna basically look at. I've obviously paid a lot of attention to where I found the secret door, so I want to start paying just as much attention to the other pieces of art in this gallery while I'm waiting for Willowsong.
So not the painting, but the other pieces. So no more examining the painting. You're like, I found the secret room. You want to check out the other stuff.
I just want to start perusing what the queen has.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess like make a this would probably be investigation or perception. Depends on the kind of information you want. Is this just kind of like walking up and down, like looking at the paintings, like
this is probably more so to just look like I'm admiring the queen's stuff.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, in that case, give me a deception check.
Okay.
Charisma deception check.
That's a 14 plus 4, 18.
18. Enough to maintain your current disguise. Like you don't sort of make yourself look more sort of relaxed and casual, but you certainly don't look suspicious. You just look like somebody who's like, you're checking out the exhibits and sort of looking around and keeping an eye on things. There's a few other guests that come in. You see maybe a couple of just visiting elves and hobgoblins kind of make their way in, kind of doing the same thing as you. Like maybe they make idle conversation for a few minutes, like, yes, the work of Botticelli, wonderful, isn't it? Yes, and then like they kind of pass on, that kind of thing. And about sort of 5 minutes goes past, and then you see entering from the other end in this kind of draconic hybrid form, horns coming out of her head, but still humanoid with sort of pale skin and dark black hair, green sort of scales sort of in patches over her body. You see Willowsong, and she enters.
Okay, so as she enters, I just want to talk to her in her head again. People know we're together, but like people know we came together. So I'll walk up to her as I'm saying this, but like, and I'll point out the painting in the back seems to have a trip door or something, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't warded or anything.
So you're saying this in your head?
Yes, this is in my head. As I'm walking up to her, and I'll cheers my glass to her and point to a different painting, like walk over and show her something.
She does the kind of like classic party thing of like, and you see this kind of effortless, chameleon, right? That like this is what she does, and it's all very much like, Artemis, darling, and like kisses on the cheeks and like, how are you finding the gallery? Oh, marvelous. And she just makes idle conversation. But it's almost like she has this ability to just let herself speak whilst her head does other things, because in your head you get a different conversation, just of, all right, if you need to in the future, if you need me to analyze this without being there, just remember that, just give me a brief moment's notice and I can use your eyes to look through. But I think this is in a safe space, so I can do this here. And she'll move up towards the large painting, and she will look towards the unseelie guard, the unseelie agent, and just sort of nod at you and then in their direction, like just distract him briefly, because you can see her, like she brings her like hands up where she has to like do the sort of like casting a spell kind of thing, and she just needs you to like cover her for a moment.
Okay. I will go up to the guard and like if there's any artwork by him, I'll just ask, are you familiar with this piece here?
Yeah, give me a I guess this would be, I'll let you rule it. It's either persuasion or deception. Because you are deceiving him, but you're kind of like engaging in more normal conversation.
Yeah, I feel like
so this is more about like just charisma and being, charismatic.
I think I would go persuasion for sure.
Sure.
And that's not just because my score is much higher. 13 plus 14, 27.
I mean, it's a game, right? You're going to roll your highest stat. That's why you give the choice. Yeah, I mean, like the guard, he's very strange. This figure, you think that they're male. They have almost like completely gray skin, very featureless, big sort of like almost looking a little bit like a sort of Roswell alien, but more like elfin in shape, right? But gray skin, very featureless, big white eyes, no irises, no like eyelids, no facial hair or anything like that. And speaks in a kind of croaky voice, like, yes, we are somewhat familiar with the ladies' collection. And they just sort of turn and like, you can see that they're reluctant, but they entertain it. Like, they're like, yes, it's a very good piece, but I'm afraid I'm not one for art. I do not know much beyond what we have been told. I hope you enjoy it. And sort of like, gestures to the rest of the gallery. You seem to be enjoying yourself.
Yes, everything here is it's quite breathtaking.
Thank you. I will pass your compliments to the queen. And then they sort of just fold their hands and like take a step back. So now they're like not near the art and they're very clearly like, I am now watching over the room kind of mode. And you don't think that you tip them off to anything. You just think these guys are pretty suspicious. And pretty paranoid. But yeah, when you turn back, Willowsong is just kind of has like a hand on like her lips and she's kind of got her arms folded, but you can see just a very faint shimmer in her eyes. And she will say telepathically to you, I don't detect any magic on the painting itself, but there is something beyond it. It's very faint. The stone is blocking out most of it. I think that we're in the right area, but I think that this may just be an entryway to something beyond. Also, just because there is not anything magic here does not mean that there are not more mundane methods of protection. Perhaps you should give it a look over as well when you get the opportunity.
Thank you, Willowsong. That's perfect. I just wanted to make sure there was no wards or anything at this point.
I would suggest that if this is the path we should take, if you get past this door, call on me again. Perhaps I can use my magic remotely through you. But once you get through, I would check again. There is definitely something beyond there, but I can't see it right now. Be careful. And she'll sort of like just like, oh, lovely, and then she'll just sort of wander off to start mingling. She maybe like catches like you see like a giant sort of Minotaur warrior, and she's just like, oh, excuse me, and she like kind of
just wanders off
them. Yeah.
Okay, how many people are left in this room? I know I have my one guard that I've spoken to.
I would say maybe like one other person, a very sort of like very, very intently examining the statue's gnome. This is like a real connoisseur who's just like, yes. He's just got a big long white beard that reaches the floor in his boots, and he just loves this artwork. He loves all this statuary in here. He's just digging it.
Okay. Okay. I want to, because there's still so many other options to go to, but I like this spot. And now that this room is mostly empty, I want to go up to the gnome and ask him, what do you find so fascinating about this piece?
Oh, well, you happen to know this is actually, and he goes on a big ramble about how it's from Mount Celestia in the plains, and it's created by an ASMR. He like tells you about this ASMR sculptor who's very, very rare, and their features are found in Elysium and the Mount Celestia and blah 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 blah. I'm not going to do it because I don't have that.
No. He goes on.
But he is like, just you ask him a question and he will happily do the whole museum tour guide thing. Like he's been waiting for somebody to ask him about the pieces on display.
Okay. Once he has like a break in his word vomit, I want to suggest, have you heard rumor that the queen has other pieces in other parts of the castle, even more magnificent than these?
just to clarify, is this you just like talking to him, or is this like casting the
No, this is just me speaking to him.
Sure. Because I was going to say,
he's heard these
has to be
rumors.
Willowsong casting.
Yeah.
He'll kind of look at you and be like, other pieces, as far as I was aware, the Queen's gallery is the finest collection in the castle. I was not aware that the Queen had further pieces.
That's what I've heard, and that's why some parts of the castle are off limits if you don't know the right people.
Oh, really? And well, who are the right people, my good man?
Well, it's more about knowing the guards that are guarding them. They have a passphrase that you can use, and they'll let you see what pieces lie beyond where they're guarding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be at the point where we're going to make a deception check.
Okay.
Because this is major BS.
This is straight up lying. Yes.
This is just straight up BSing.
Okay. Deception +4. 17 +4.
Okay. 17 + 4 is 21.
21, but not as good as it should be.
I mean, it's pretty good. 21's pretty good.
I don't know why my deception's not higher. I don't know. I feel like I'm more of a liar, but this is not how it might.
I think you're less of a liar, more of a sneaky boy.
Yes,
right.
Yeah,
you're the sneaky guy, and you're very persuasive, but you're not necessarily a good liar.
Yeah.
But he will sort of like look at you and be like, really? And do you happen to know there was this passphrase and who these guards may be, my good man? I could make it worth your while. And he sort of jangles a little coin pouch. He's like,
well, I'm not one for gold, but the tallest man you can find inside of the ballroom, he is one for gold and knows the way.
Oh, very cryptic, very, very fey. Yes. And he will sort of be scat. He'll just go. He immediately leaves towards the main hall, the grand hall, leaving just you and the unseelie agent.
Okay, I didn't think this far.
This is the best. I love putting like you guys in these kind of situations because this is like real creative thinking time. Like this is heist movie James Bond stuff.
Okay, so now if how long does suggestion? I gotta look at the spell suggestion. So I know Willowsong.
Also, so
go ahead.
With the spells, Willowsong has to be the one to cast them.
Yep.
So she means either she would have to come back here or you would have to lure this guy somewhere else.
Okay.
And also, can you roll a D6 for me?
Yeah, I realized halfway through that bit that I rolled a 2.
2. Okay, nice.
What does that mean?
I mean, I'm not going to tell you what it is.
No. Okay. Okay.
It's something I needed to know, but you don't.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So then I think that I need to. I would have kept her in here. Okay. So all spells she physically casts.
Yes.
Which
means that she has to basically be able to see the target. Some of them have different ranges and things like that, but generally it just means for the purposes of this, she just needs to be in the same room and see them, basically. Okay. So as long as they're in the same location and she can see them, she'll use the spell.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't want to wait 5 minutes though, because the room is finally empty. I think that I am going to I'm gonna walk towards. How exactly is the room laid out? Like in my mind, the guard is in the corner of the room, or
big long corridor. Like we are talking, like maybe something like 600 feet long corridor, right? Like this is a long corridor, from start to finish, and the whole thing. And they're all like at the edges. You can see the towers that sort of connect them to the other wings and the stairs that go up. But the Queen's Gallery is basically this super long, almost like the Louvre kind of like long gallery with paintings. The secret door painting is slap in the middle. It is bang in the middle of the room. And this guard is maybe sort of about 100 feet to the right, from the big painting. Definitely is like, you are the only one in the room. You don't even need to make a check. They are watching you. They are like, you're the only one in here. They're feigning that they're like just there to sort of be on hand as a member of staff. But, you've picked up that these guys are definitely more than that.
Okay. I want to make my way. Is there a way that so I want to walk in this gallery where I know he's watching me, but I want my back towards him. Like I just want to keep checking out art and like have my back towards him. Yeah. And as that is the case, I would like to dangerous. I want to douse my kiss of silver with the star lily drops.
Yes. Yep. I can't remember how many doses of that I gave you, but I'm sure you wrote it down.
Yes, I have 3 doses total.
3 doses. Okay, so this would be a dose of it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And how do you want to? And I believe that we agree it was contact poison, I think. So it's like you have to like dab it on, and then it's basically as soon as it touches his skin, whether that's a cut or just being pressed against it or whatever it happens to be, it's contact poison. The first thing is it is a contact poison, and there is a risk you can poison yourself.
Oh, that's fun.
But you have proficiency in a poisonous kit because you're an assassin. Okay. You have the assassin archetype. So what I'm going to say is just roll a d20 plus your dexterity and your proficiency bonus. So
d20 plus 9.
There you go. D20 plus
9. I rolled a 16. 25.
Right, perfect.
Overkill.
Yep. You apply it easily. You are very careful. You actually use like maybe a piece of like this nobleman's tunic. You actually have like a pair of gloves on, and you're making sure that like you'll keep like, you know, those gloves you've got well in hand. You don't bring it up anywhere near your sleeves. You're keeping the blade sort of like where you know it's not going to touch any of your skin. Now you just have to get it on him.
Yeah. So I would like to just basically, because I still have like a cloak type of wearing on, right?
Yeah, like a little capelet. Like you've got like a fancy nobleman's outfit on, imagine.
Okay.
Sort of like maybe a little capelet. You kind of got like the pantaloons, maybe like a nice black shirt kind of thing. No armor, but like, you know, you look in place.
Okay. So then I want to just make my way over with my Kiss of Silver sheathed, essentially.
Okay.
Sure. And so it's not in my hand. I just have my glass, and I just want to keep checking out the art. And when I get back to that piece that's by him, I just can't get over this piece. It's so, I must have it. Is the queen's art for sale? I'll ask the guard.
He will look at you. The first thing I'd like you to do is make a sleight of hand check to see how well hidden you can keep this dagger. I know you said it's in your sheath, but like, you know, you're kind of keeping your hands near it. Like, you know, how casually you kind of playing it. So sleight of hand for this, I think.
I rolled a 20. Why did I waste my crit on this?
Perfect. This guy has no clue. Like, he just looks at you. He's like, hello again, sir. I'm afraid that nothing in the Queen's gallery is for sale. She is quite fond of all of the items here. But I'm sure that perhaps an arrangement can be made to discuss her supplier or some such. And he will sort of like, because he at this point just thinks that you're another art nerd at this point. He maybe just is like, maybe he like comes up and like puts a hand on your arm to like basically like take you, like, I believe that I know the individual, I could take you to see them, like almost like I will show you, come with me, so I'll show you the way kind of thing.
As he closes the distance, can I unsheath it and just do a little poke on,
just like absolutely. Make an attack roll with advantage.
Okay.
Just in case you roll that one.
Okay, I rolled a 13 plus whatever Kiss of Silver is, 22.
22.
And then
you you just like maybe cut like his forearm, like just, and he's like, what the, and he's like, he like looks at, he's like, what did you just do? And I'm not gonna have him roll Constitution because you did a cool thing, and this is a whole point of a heist movie. So he just is like, what did you? Whoa. And he just like, you see his eyes begin to swirl. He begins looking around, just completely like he like goes to push you away, but there's just no strength to it. He just looks like he's really drunk and high, like just completely like. Ugh.
Okay, nice. I like that. And then I have to roll a d3 to see how many hours he is like this. And it is 1 hour, the shortest amount of time.
1 hour.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna put my notes that this guard is currently out for 1 hour.
When this happens, I want to tell Willowsong, I've cleared the room and I've taken the guard out. I've dosed him with Star Lily. I'm gonna check out the door. Once I'm inside, I'm changing my disguise, and the assassin has left the party.
Very good. Just be careful. Make sure you hide the body, or put them somewhere that they won't be discovered, or somewhere they will be discovered that is inconspicuous. The Queen's Gallery, I don't believe, it may be a bit suspicious if they're suddenly drunk or intoxicated there.
He's coming with me.
Alcohol. Okay. And she just like nods. Okay. All right. Yeah. At the moment, you are clear. This has probably taken like the conversation, the kind of like the slow build up, maybe about 30 seconds.
Okay.
To kind of get there.
So immediately I want to, I'm trying to think would be better. I think I'm gonna pick the guard up and just start like walking over to the painting. Like I need to open this painting.
You have to kind of drag him a little bit. Like you're not carrying him, but like somebody who's blackout drunk. They are all your weight. So you kind of have to drag him. It slows your movement. You have to kind of walk over there. It takes you like a few seconds to get there. But yeah, you get in front of the painting. He is just like they're just like drooling and sort of just completely out of it. He just looks a mess.
Okay, since he's like this, can I actually? No, I'm gonna wait. I want to make sure. I want to check out the painting first. I want to try to open the seam that I saw.
You just go up and you just like try and like, you can't see any immediate way to open it, but you kind of put your hands like in the little sort of like the little thin crack and you push or whatever. That's when you hear a click, Shady. What do you do?
I guess I dash back and I leave the body there.
Okay, can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Oh my gosh, why, Mark? Why couldn't this just be smooth? I rolled.
You left the body there. Didn't you?
I did. Okay. I rolled a 21.
21. You managed to leap back as when you begin tampering with the door and you fiddle with the door, the painting, which has the Queen of Air and Darkness holding like a greatsword pointed down, that greatsword is not painting. It's actually a very thin sheet of metal, razor sharp, that's separated and painted to look like it is. And it swings to the side, like the blade just kind of like swings on a lever and cleaves into this guy. Like because you left him there. So it just like into the body and then it swings back and then it looks like it's about to swing into him again as it's like on some sort of spring mechanism. But first I'm going to see how much damage it does to this dude. See if I get a crit. I do not. Okay. Yeah.
This poor guy, I just drugged him and now he's just getting slashed by a painting.
Yep. Okay, so he survives, but you watch as this first blade swings into him, a deep bloody cut and blood sprays. Like blood is like kind of sprays a bit all over the painting, a bit over the floor. Not like gouts of it, but like there is a blood stain now, right? Yeah. Like it could be hidden. If you can think of a way that you can try and hide it, you might be able to. But this is going to lower your current disguise score.
Okay.
Okay. All righty. The body, what do you do next? Like you see like kind of he slumps against the wall, he gets struck by this thing, but the drug, like he doesn't seem to feel it. He kind of just goes groans, sort of like he doesn't cry out or scream or anything like that. The drug is like completely rendered him incapable. But the blade is bouncing back and it's going to swing back.
I'm trying to decide. I mean, I guess I have to pull him out for now, but I don't even know if. So while this is happening, do I notice like then this is just there's no door. This is just a swinging blade?
There is a door. It was trapped. It looks like as soon as you went to pull on the door, you activated some sort of mechanism and it swung this thing. The door was locked. Like there was you can't see a handle. You can't see like, you haven't seen how to actually open it. But as soon as you started like pushing it and fiddling with it, this thing went
and the blade doesn't seem like, is it slowing down at all? Like, it
does look like it's slowing down. Do you want to pull him away or are you going to leave him there?
I think I'm going to leave him there.
Okay. So when it comes back with less force, but it still does strike him because he's not in a capable way of being able to avoid it. It does still strike him. Does a little bit less damage. Little bit less damage. 9, 10, 12.
I'm updating Willowsong, by the way, while this is happening.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
The second one, he drops to the floor. Like you see it like cuts into his neck and like more blood gets pulled out and now is like building and he slumps to the floor and a pool is like he is now bleeding out. He is unconscious, 0 hit points.
Okay.
Willowsong is like, I told you to be careful. We may be able to get rid of one body. There may be a way. If I can get away, I may be able to come and assist you. But I can't do this again, and I don't know what we can do about the blood. We need to try and keep this area clear.
Oh boy, this is not.
But it's going to take her a couple of minutes to get to you. To like separate herself from conversation, make excuses, and come back to try and help you get rid of this body, or figure out what you're going to do. The trap eventually, the blade kind of swings for a third time, but now he's on the floor. It doesn't really hit him, and then after the third time, it seems to slow down enough where it locks back in place, and you hear a click again. And with your passive perception, you begin to almost hear like like a tightening of metal, like a spring being coiled. Like,
so while I hear that, can I try to rip open the door this time before it tightens all the way? Or
are you just gonna try? Yeah, it's locked. Like you press it and you can see that like the trap's not ready to, like, it hasn't reset yet, so it doesn't trigger. But there is a lock. This door is somehow locked or sealed. But Willowsong did say that there was no magic on it, so this must just be all mechanical.
Yeah, can I find a section of the painting that has some sort of lockpick, or no? Is it
absolutely you can? Yeah,
okay.
You can either make a perception or an investigation check.
I'll do investigation because I've been doing perception a lot. 16 plus 10, 26.
26, yes. You kind of kicked yourself because, like, if you'd searched for this before, you probably would have seen it. There is in the mountains near where the door is, hidden as like a little cave, like painted to look like a little cave. You find a recess, like an actual, like a really thin, tiny, no more than a match size hole. And yeah, like it looks like it would fit a key, but it looks like picks might fit in there as well.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take one of my thieves' tools picks and try to pick the lock.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sad. Why didn't I look for a lock first? That's a 12 plus what else do I use?
So it'd be dexterity plus proficiency for thieves' tools.
Okay, so 12 plus 4 plus 5, so 21.
21. You're close to getting it, but this is like a really complex, very well made lock. Like, and you're gonna need to find a way to improve your odds because, like, now you've tried it, you need to find a way to like get a bonus to this somehow. But as you're kind of like, it takes you like maybe like 30-40 seconds, like as you're kind of like playing around with the lock, like fiddling around with it, you begin to hear people are coming towards the Queen's Gallery, like just guests, just more guests, but you currently have a dead man at this point.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. That's a great question.
All right, I need to actually think. Okay, there's a dead man.
Take time to think. Ask me questions. Don't.
I feel like I'm going through this too fast. How long does it take to use my disguise kit?
It would take a while. It would take a good sort of 10 minutes to don a new disguise. And you need to be somewhere hidden, like Hitman rules, right? Like if people see you changing into a disguise, then that disguise is ruined.
Yeah, that's true. Can I? Oh, no, I can't make an explosion. I'm here. I can't make an explosion somewhere else.
We could. You do have some flashbacks. You could.
I was about to say. I literally just scrolled up. Okay, I have a flashback. What did I bring that would help me in this situation?
That's a great question. But that's up to you. I can't help you on this one.
What is the limitation of this flashback? How much of a magic item can I get?
You ask, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
How about that? You ask, and I'll probably say yes, but it will come with like, it could break, or it might be a risk, or it might work perfectly fine. Like if it's a low sort of ask, but if it's a big ask, I might be like, well, there's a chance it might not work, or there's a chance it might break after you use it, or something like that.
Okay,
but ask. You tell me what you want.
Let me
tell me what you want, baby. You tell me what you want.
I'm trying. There's a dead body. There's people coming. What's more important? To hide the body. The most important thing is to hide the body. If it's just me in this room and it's just guests coming, that's not a big deal. So I would think that cleaning up the blood and hiding the body is the most important thing.
Okay.
What would let me do that? A giant bag of holding that I can stuff a body into.
You could definitely a bag of holding. You could have a bag of holding ready to go. It won't help with the blood, but it would help with the body.
I know. I don't want to help with the blood, and I only have 2 flashbacks. And if I use them both right now, I'm going to
say as well, you can't use them both. You can only use one at a time. Like that's going to be a rule I'm going to state into it.
What can take care of a body and blood?
It's a great question.
How much blood is on the floor? A lot, right? It's a lot of blood.
I would say that like there is a substantial amount, but it's centered around the painting, right? Like it's mainly around the area. If like you like, and again, this is like me trying to interpret how the character of Tarkhal might think. People are only going to notice the blood on the ground and on the wall if they look at this painting. Like if you could find a way to shield it or to like divert their attention, you might be able to like get rid of them you might be able to get rid of them before they notice.
Is there
this is also where the point where you notice you have blood on you because like, you know, you were stood next to him when he got hit. Like there, and it's not much, but it's like flicks. Like anybody who was like really looking at you would be like, is that blood on your collar kind of thing? And you've got like, you know, if you try and smear it, it's just going to smear and stuff like that.
Okay.
So.
I want a
but you could be able to bluff that. You could just be like, oh, I had like, you know, a rare steak.
I know what I want to do. Sure. I want to have a sleeping bag of holding is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to scoop the body into the sleeping bag of holding. Then.
Okay. You have a bag of holding. This was a bag of holding that you got very last minute. And I mean, yeah, the body goes in it. You're not sure how much more will go in.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's already in here. Like you bought this, you know, this was a last minute, like dodgy trader on the road. Like, yeah, I got a bag of holding for you, mate. Yeah, have this for it. And then, you know, you're like, oh, I guess this will work. And then,
okay. And then I want to take my glass that I have with my alcohol and I want to break it on the wall and cut myself a pretty good cut on my arm, like almost as if I had hit like an artery or something, but okay. Not actually.
No. But you know, to make this look convincing,
I have to bleed a decent amount. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a choice. You can make a medicine check to try and like cut yourself, but like actually do a good cut that isn't gonna bleed too badly, or you can just be like, nope, screw it, jab, and just deal with the consequences.
The consequences, huh?
The consequences of my actions.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the consequences for the content. Yeah.
Okay, I love it. So what we're gonna do then, the way we're gonna represent that is because you know you got to add like some tension and you got to add some consequences and stuff.
Yeah.
For your hit points, I would like you to. There is a the max HP modifier, override max HP. I would like you to reduce your maximum hit points by, let's say, 20 points.
Okay, so I should go negative 20.
I believe so.
Yep, that brought me down to 103. Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. So and that's going to basically represent that you have like jabbed yourself, you've like bled out, but this isn't like a quick healing. Like, because like hit points aren't always necessarily like grievous bodily injuries. You have literally just like cut into your arm and probably cut a pretty severe, deep thing that's bleeding everywhere. And it looks bad, like it looks really bad, and you can deal with it. You're a seasoned adventurer, but that's not going to heal anytime soon. Like you need like a long rest kind of thing to heal that back.
Okay, and so with that, can I take the area? So this is, I'm wearing a rich man's. I'm wearing rich man's clothes. Are they absorby? Are they like, you know, like a thick cape?
It's probably like velvet and like cape and stuff, but like the stain's going to show up. But like, yeah, you can hide it because it is black as well. But it's maybe you've got like white trim and that's kind of got stained with the blood and like, you know, things like that. But the cut you've done will explain the amount of blood here.
Okay, that's what I want. Okay, and then I mean, I wanted to try to, if it'll explain the amount of blood, and that's all I need. That's fine.
Yeah. So what happens is you kind of cut yourself and like blood, and then these people come in and you see that it's maybe I'm trying to think of the kind of characters, maybe like a satyr, young satyr woman with a gaggle of let's say, I don't know, a bunch of a very well-dressed troll, let's say that. And they're sort of like having a conversation as they come in, and then they see you, and the troll's like, my good man, are you all right? And the satyr woman is like, oh my gosh, dearie, are you okay? And they'll sort of rush over to you, like seeing like this blood spraying from everywhere.
No, I'm fine. I guess I didn't know how strong these drinks were.
Well, terrible cut. Oh, you need a bit of troll blood in you, boy. Quite a. And he's got a little monocle. He's a troll with a monocle, obviously, and a little tuxedo. And the satyr woman is like, "Oh, well, we can't leave you like that, dear. We should go. Maybe we can go find the kitchens, or maybe they have somebody here who can look after that. But you can't leave that like that, my dear." And she's like trying to like motherly be like, that's a bad cut, you should go and wash it and like get it bandaged and stuff.
Do I have any bandages on me? Let me see. Disguise kit, prisoner's kit. Is there cloth in a prisoner's kit? What do we got?
I would say maybe the disguise kit would have like wads of cloth for like padding clothing and things. But you would have to kind of get that out of a disguise kit.
Yes,
like it's like, let me open my box with fake noses
with my mustaches and yes. No, okay.
But you might be able to like slip it out of there. This is also probably the point, like, as this is happening, like Willowsong is like, okay, I'm making my way to the Queen's Gallery, like now, like.
Okay. You know, it really should be fine. As long as I apply pressure, I've seen many a battle in my day, and this was just a silly mistake with a glass.
Sure. Make me a I mean, it's not necessarily an entirely lie. You have seen a lot of battle. Make a persuasion check.
I've seen it. I'm trying to make sure now because I've realized I lied before. I rolled a 17, persuasion, 31.
31. The troll kind of is like, yes, you have the look of a warrior. Aren't you Artemis in Fairy? A little cut like this shouldn't faze the greatest assassin of Faerun. No, I say, no, it's all right, my dear. He'll be quite all right. He's probably had worse than this in a few bar fights down in Kalasham. Isn't that right, Artemis? Ha ha ha!
And I just laugh.
Oh, no, it'll be all right. Come, my dear. Come, my dear. Let's leave the poor man in peace, shall we? I'm a bit bored of these paintings anyway. Right, let's go find some more beer. And then he'll drag his, and she's like, okay. And then she just goes off with him.
Okay.
And you once again have a moment of silence. Can you roll another D6 for me, please?
Sure. Why? I didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1. Great. Okay, nice. Right.
Okay. So you said
what would you like to do now?
I need to do something to make me better at this lock. I can't just try again, right?
I would say, yeah, you basically need to find a way to improve your odds, right? So like this could be like using the guidance cantrip or finding something that's gonna, maybe help you in some way do better. Like it's kind of creatively open, right?
Can I use a piece of my glass the glass that I broke as a magnifying glass to give me a better sight of the lock?
Oh, I like it. I like it. It's only going to work once.
Yeah,
so
fine.
You retry this once, but if it doesn't work, it's not going to work again. But yeah, I'd say that.
Okay.
Like you find like a big enough piece and you kind of lighten it up and like, yeah, it does magnify a little bit. It's quite dark. Like that's the problem. This hole's so small. It's very, very dark as you're trying to pick it. But yeah, go for it. Reroll.
Okay. And it was proficiency plus dex? Mm-hmm. Come on, don't do this to me. Oh, wait. Oh, I think that's the same score. 13 plus 9, 20. That's 22. That's 22.
22 is exactly what you needed.
Oh my God.
You do actually hear like a and it now unlocks.
Okay, perfect. I will update Willowsong again. That I've taken care of the blood. I've taken care of the body. I've unlocked the door. I'm going in, and as I said, I will be disguised. But if you're close and you want to peek in,
I'm on my way. I'm on my way now.
If you want to peek in instead of having to go on rest when we use these powers, because it's a 10-minute cooldown, right? If she uses it when she's away.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's people making their way to the Queen's Gallery. I'll stall them. You get inside now. I will stall them. And then if you need me for magic, call on me to use it remotely. But I need to stall these people. They're going to walk in and see you entering.
Okay. So I will go in and I will close the painting behind me. Wait. I said it already. I can't take it back.
As you go to open it, the trap was still active, my guy.
What?
I mean, yeah, you reset, buddy. Like you've been doing blood and like talking to people. I'd say you could hear the spring winding up.
All right.
I need. So this time there is no click. Well, there is a click actually, but can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Sure. 10 plus 9, 19.
10 plus 9, you're going to take a little bit of damage. You're going to take 9 points of slashing damage as it just, you have to maybe buckle your ankle as you leap back.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, when you go to, now that it's unlocked, you go to open it, the trap was still active and it is seemingly on a different system and it swings this blade back and forth. You do manage to leap back. And if you leave it for a couple of swings, it then locks back into place and you can open up the door.
Okay. Interesting. So I was supposed to just do that, but say, hey, I know the trap's gonna activate, so I'm gonna pull on it and jump away.
You could have done, or you could have been like, can I disable the trap?
Oh yeah, you can
stop the trap.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Dude, it's not like I got your moment. It's just no.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
I felt gotcha.
No. It's you're doing your best. You're doing some clever stuff. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm gonna go in now with my blood.
All right. So beyond this secret door, so basically once you unlock it, you actually find that you can push it inwards. And as you push it inwards, the door swings in and it leads into a very, very short kind of corridor, which you can then close the door behind you. And there's enough space, maybe about a 10-foot kind of space that you can sort of stand in. And you see that beyond the secret door is a cylinder chamber that descends downwards. So it's basically like a big hole, and then it descends downwards with a spiral staircase around the edge, kind of leading downwards. So imagine like a big hole in the middle, cylinder going down, spiral staircase going down to the bottom. The cylinder space is about sort of 60-foot diameter, so 30 foot, 30 foot. It's quite wide, and it goes down about 90 to 100 feet. And then it looks like down at the bottom of this cylinder chamber is an antechamber down there.
Okay. Another antechamber, because this is the second antechamber.
This is like, yeah, this looks like it is, you know, that looks like where maybe the actual vault or maybe the actual door to the vault is. You think that this secret entrance, like the painting, is just a way to like get access to whatever else is here. Like it's kind of like a twofold system, right?
Okay, so then I definitely want to relate to Willowsong that essentially Artemis went home because he was embarrassed and hurt himself. If anyone asks, he happened, you know, he told you, obviously, and he kind of left.
Yeah, and she'll be like, give me the full details just so I understand. You relay like, yep, I cut myself on a glass. I met this troll. I met this Satan. And she's like, I will intercept them and make sure, yep. And she's like, yep, I will take care of this. We can make it that Artemis has left the party early. Artemis.
Okay, so while I'm
inside now, you've made your way inside. You're in this chamber.
Yes, it's quite large in here and goes down about 90 feet. So I'm going to change my disguise, and then I'm going to request your senses.
Yes, good. All right, I'll get myself into position. So, yes, I'll be ready when you need me. Good luck.
Thank you.
Be safe. Be cautious. The Queen of Air and Darkness, I mean, they are very magical. I would be very surprised if there are not magical protections and wards down there, or security systems or something.
Okay, I'm going to be doing everything from here on out as carefully as possible. I gently open my disguise kit and change myself.
Okay, nice. What disguise would you like to take on?
I would like to disguise myself as who was the first queen that we helped out in this campaign where we got her the lantern?
That would be Lady. You're making me think.
I'm sorry, I can't think of it either.
It's like Bleak Winter or something like that. God, I can't even remember my own. Lady Bleak Winter.
We'll call her that. So I want to disguise myself as like Lady Bleak Winter's famous uncle, who was known for his just.
Okay.
Not. I don't know if I want to do battles or if I want to do like cooking. I want to do cooking.
Okay.
He's a renowned chef, if that's possible.
Renowned chef.
Yeah.
Okay. Lord Bleak Winter, the renowned chef.
Yeah.
I have a question. The disguise kit is going to provide you like, you know, prosthetics. Like you can make your cheeks bigger and your nose different and your hair color different. You can change your skin. You can change, like, you can give yourself a hunchback if you want. You got like padding and like muscle padding and fat padding and things like that. What are you doing about clothes?
Okay.
Because, I mean, you could just wear the clothes you have as Artemis. They're regal, lordly clothes.
Yeah, but they're just covered in blood.
That has seen you, well, you know, they've got a bit of blood on them. But anybody who's seen you might be like, oh, wasn't another guy wearing those clothes earlier? But, you know, they'd have to be pretty observant to pick up on that.
Okay. I think that's my only option right now. For some reason, I thought the disguise kit would have clothes, but I didn't realize that it's more just about disguises, not the clothes.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, like, I'd say maybe there's some accessories, but like you don't have like a full costume here.
Okay.
Like, you know, that's the kind of thing of like, you know, if you knocked somebody out or like you found another guest, you could take their clothes, or like you could find a set of clothes elsewhere or something like that.
And I'm not going to disguise myself as world-renowned chef and then also take this soldier out of my bag of holding, and then who knows what,
like secret agent basically, who's like wearing kind of like, but their clothes are quite nice. They're not quite guest quality nice, but they are sort of like more, they don't look like a guard, they look like a well-to-do sort of courtier or something like that.
But they're all matching, right? They're in uniform, or
quite a uniform, no, because they're meant to blend in. They're meant to look like courtiers, but also sort of not stand out. So you know how like when you go to an event, right, and they might have silver service staff and things, they're all wearing like the crisp suits. And things like that. But you might get like the bodyguards, and they're just wearing like a normal suit, right? And they've got, you know, they're just like kind of looking around, so they still look nice, but you know.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm better off being in Artemis's clothes, because I feel like the soldiers will know what each other has worn, because they have to know who they are. And I've only been seen by 2 of them so far, and one of them's dead in a bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and say
all right, perfect. In that case, I would like you to make a disguise kit check, and this is charisma plus your proficiency.
And it's a D20 charisma plus proficiency.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Last time the roll was not great. I need something better. That's a 14. plus charisma plus 4. It's 18 plus proficiency is 5. So 23.
23. I am going to deduct some points.
Okay, that's fine.
Because you are using your old bloody clothes.
That's fine.
But disguise has been reset. You adjust a new face. Same clothes, but you managed to, maybe you can pull like the cape that the soldier was wearing out and you replace the one you were wearing with that. And you kind of mix and match the clothing to at least try and like disguise it as best you can. But most of the outfit is still the one you were wearing before, and there's still a little bit of blood on it, maybe a little bit like, you know, you still have this wounded hand as well that you've tried to hide maybe with like a glove and things like that. You know, there's accessories in the kit, but not actual full clothes. But yeah, pretty good. Like you definitely do look like a completely different person now.
Okay, yeah, and the chef is he's pretty broad, whereas the assassin
like
was pretty
padding.
Yeah, he's pretty padded, and he's got a very big nose, like super big nose.
Like big like long or big like
no
wide?
Big like round. It's round in my mind. Yeah,
boxer's kind of nose, like got too many punches in the face. Nice.
Yeah, frying pans.
Nice. But yeah, and then you finish that. Takes about 10 minutes, and you can sort of hear murmuring in the corridor, like people coming and going now, but very faint, very dulled.
Okay, and before I even move, I'm just gonna ask if Willowsong, are you ready? I don't even want to take a step without your senses.
Give me 10 seconds. You wait 10 seconds. She's like, I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah, I want her to be able to see through me and.
Okay. It's a strange sensation because you feel Willowsong's mind kind of step into your own. It is like having a specter sort of in your body, but you still being in complete control. You feel her presence. You feel this earthy grass, trees, flowers, sense of marsh and fens. But you don't smell it, you feel it in your body. And there's sorrow, there's guilt, there is sadness, longing, but they're distant, they're faint. You can still tell them there though, and you realize that this isn't just as part of this telepathic spell. This is part of this pact, this connection that you've made. That mark on your chest, you know, begins to sort of almost ache as the two of you sort of merge, and you hear in your mind like, I'm sorry if this is uncomfortable. This is just the only way I know how to do this. I will try and keep my emotions in check, but I'm ready now. I'm just going to activate a few spells, and we'll take it from here. You have about a minute. I can spare about a minute of this, and you feel your eyes almost glisten. You feel like something like a tingling in your eyes, and then the world changes. You begin to see prismatic spectrums of color, just faintly feeding off of things like Kiss of Silver gives off a faint aura of magic where it's been enchanted. This corridor, this cylinder chamber, you don't immediately notice something until Willowsong will say, look up. And you sort of gesture, and if you do, I mean, I'm assuming that
I'll look up. I'll listen to her. Yeah, for sure.
You see no, actually, sorry, she would say look down. And when you look down, sort of at the bottom, right in the middle of the cylinder, you see, I guess I would best describe it as almost like a sort of concave bowl made of magical force. No, a conch shell. You see like a magical conch shell, sort of just hovering in the middle of this cylinder, just a few feet off the ground at the very bottom. And Willowsong will tell you, like, be very quiet. That is a clairvoyance sensor. It's set to detect sound. Likely there is somebody in the castle somewhere is on the other end of the clairvoyance and is listening to see if it picks up any sound in this chamber.
Okay, I will be quiet.
Okay. I'm not detecting any immediate magic in this chamber apart from the sensor. There may be more. There's definitely something more down at the bottom. I think the actual where the vault entrance is, and we'll learn more there. Do be careful. There may still be, whilst there may not be magic, you've already seen that they have physical defenses as well. So be cautious. I'm going to come out of this sense now, just so that if you need me later on, I can quickly come back. But I don't want to give up too much time.
Sounds good.
Is that all right?
No.
Is there anything else? Any questions?
No, that's fine. I'm sure I'll be in touch very soon.
All right. Good luck. And you feel that presence, like a spirit leaves your body, like.
Heebie-jeebies. And ex-lover. I don't like it. Okay, so then now that I know that there's a conch, I will do everything that I do from here on out very stealthily and very cautiously. Is it a spiral on its way down?
Yes. So imagine like you got this like, empty cylinder, which is like just a space, and then built into the side of the walls is a spiral staircase. There's no hand railing, so one side just faces this drop into the cylinder, and then the other side is like the hard wall of the mountain, the castle. You're not sure where you are now.
Okay. So I know she didn't tell me to look up, but I want to also look up and just see if there's anything up there that I can see with non-magical eyes. Is it just the ceiling?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Okay.
Make a perception.
That's only that's a 17. These dice are so weird. 17 plus 9, 26.
26. Looking up, you look up. The ceiling isn't that much higher above where you are now. It's maybe only about 10, 15 feet above you. And looking around, you can't see anything immediate up there. You don't see any holes. You don't see the signs of any sort of wires or, cracks or crevices that things can come out of. You think that above you is safe.
Okay. So then as I want to descend this spiral pathway, but as I'm doing so, I want to look towards the bottom corner of the wall and like kind of look it up and down as I'm taking my steps to see if there's any wires in the bottom, any holes along the wall.
Very good. And you're trying to be stealthy?
I am definitely trying to be stealthy. Yeah. All
right. Can I get a stealth check from you, please?
Okay, that's my good one.
I'm going to use your passive investigation for this.
Bro, okay, I'm doing this thing on my streams where I play D&D plus Pokemon, and I've rolled 3 ones. I now just rolled my second 20 of the day just on this, on stealth. Just gonna waste it here, and it's fine.
I mean, is it a waste?
No, it's not. It's not a waste. It's not a waste. Well, I don't know. I don't know how important this stealth check was. It's 34.
It's quite important. You do not make a sound. You cautiously make your way down, and for the first sort of 30 feet, you're like watching the corners, and you're beginning to wonder, now, am I being too paranoid? It looks like, and then 30 feet. As you get the first 30 feet down the spiral staircase, you see it. Gossamer thin, like spider's web, stretched across the entire cylinder, starting from the bottom of the staircase and then going out all the way across a tripwire. Painted black to blend in with the rock, the sort of like rocky cylinder. Very, very thin, nearly impossible. Like most people would have just never seen this. And it's connected. It goes into a hole in the wall, a long, thin tripwire.
And it's just one wire. It's not like a wall of wire, right?
Nope. Okay. It's just like one wire. It looks like if you'd been walking down these steps and not paid attention, you would have tripped the wire. Like you would have tugged it out of the hole or like pulled on it somehow. But it goes across the entire cylinder, the 60-foot diameter space.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm just going to step over that if possible while looking to make sure there's not like, when I step over, I want to look actually at the ground behind the wire to make sure it's not like some sort of other booby trap.
Yeah. Like make sure there's no pressure plates. Nope. You don't see anything. You can step over it. No problem.
Okay. I want to continue with that in mind that, okay, there are definitely traps here. I have to stay quiet and I have to stay vigilant. So
you are very quiet. You make your way down. When you get 60 feet down, the same thing. Another tripwire going across. You step over that one, no problems. You get to the very bottom, just at the about sort of actually no, it'd probably be 20 feet, 40 feet, and then 60 feet actually, not 30 feet. So 20, 40, 60 tripwire at each point. 3 points along the spiral staircase. No idea what the tripwire would do. It's hard to tell. Like,
I don't want to know.
You're mainly been looking for the mechanism. Like you've been focusing on like, what's the trigger mechanism? You don't necessarily know what it might activate. You could look around and try and figure it out, but you can step over it and it doesn't activate. It doesn't do anything.
Okay. I think I'm pretty satisfied with not knowing what would have happened. I'm not going to lie.
Nice. Good. Nice. When you reach the bottom, the cylinder, sort of like big cylinder chamber, there is a kind of carved out tunnel. And not deep, maybe just like 3 feet, sort of like more of an alcove, I should say. Actually, not a tunnel, it's like an alcove. And you see a large black pair of double iron doors engraved with, you can see the Queen of Air and Darkness, and she seems to be holding up these cubes. And there are all these cubes behind her, and then all this treasure and wealth and minions and creatures. It looks like she's lording over, but she's holding like strange looking cubes. And she is like set into the middle of the doors so that when you would, open it, she would basically she would split apart. So she's right bang in the middle.
Okay.
That is about sort of, I would say, where you reach the bottom of the stairs. It's maybe about 30 feet away from where you get to the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. I want to talk to Willowsong and let her know I'm at the bottom of the corridor. I think I need your eyes. Okay. And also, I guess I already told you the details of how in the painting, the Queen of Air and Darkness was holding the trap. So I want her to know that what she's holding is probably part of whatever trap is here.
Okay. Yeah, you get her. Takes a moment, and then she phases into you. And you see the same thing. She activates the detect magic. She activates see invisibility, and she can identify effects. And when you see the door, you see a huge glowing sigil, like a glyph, sort of like shaped where those cubes are. In fact, it's kind of hidden amongst the cubes, like a big geometric shape, and the cubes kind of obscure this like magical sigil. You also see that there is 2 other effects as well. You're not quite sure you don't really understand magic as much, but Willowsong will tell you, as I expected, there's a few effects on this door. The first thing is there seems to be what I believe to be an alarm spell. If we try and open the door or tamper with the door without giving it a password, I think it will trigger. There is also a glyph of warding. I don't know exactly what spell would trigger, but it looks like it's set that if you approach the door and you do not fulfill some sort of requirement, maybe it's the key or a password or something else, but normally they are triggered by you give them something that allows you access past a glyph of warding. Same with an alarm spell. You set a password so you can bypass it. And then lastly, there is another spell called a magic mouth, which is normally used to deliver a message. It's placed on objects or on places to deliver a sort of illusory pre-recorded message. That is mainly. There is also an arcane lock spell on the door itself, which means it will be very difficult to pick or break down. I think we're going to need some sort of key or password here.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
We are breaking into the vault of a very powerful archfey. I did not expect this to be easy. If you need me, I can try and make my way to the vault and join you down there. But it may be that you need to come back and we need to find out more about this place or what needs to be done. I may have someone that can help.
Yeah, maybe you're right. This seems like there's too much down here. Okay, I'll
if you can find more information out, the more information we have, if we know what we're looking for, perhaps. But I also don't want you to be at risk.
Well, I wasn't introduced when I walked in, so I fear being back on the surface, not being Artemis.
That's a very good point. But if you're talented with disguises and blending in, I think that you'll be all right. There's a lot of people here, and a lot of people don't know everybody. Just be wary of the Queen and maybe some of her agents. They'll probably be the ones who will likely pick up on it. But like I said, if you can find things out while you're down there, more information that we have, the better.
Yeah, I'll take another look around here, but I don't think I'm going to get any closer to this door because the mouth speak will probably activate the conch that's listening, and
it's likely. Although if it's programmed to speak, that might not be out of the ordinary. Although they might wonder why someone's done. I will leave it to you, but do what you think best. I will investigate things up here, see if I can learn if anybody knows anything about a password or something like that. See what we can find out.
Sounds good. Oh, Mark, I'm at a loss.
That's okay. If you're at a loss, listen, this is the thing that sometimes happens in like games with like D&D adventures with like lots of puzzles and like stuff like this. It's still a game. You can turn around and be like, hey, game master man, give me a hint. Tell me what to do. Like, that's totally fine. You could do that if you want.
Well, I feel like
also know that there's no wrong answers, Shady. Whatever you come up with, that's the way the game goes. That's the narrative, baby.
I know.
There's no wrong answers.
Okay, I just want to see if there's any sort of clue by further like just investigating this door, not by touching it, but just by giving a hard look and giving the walls leading towards the door a look.
Yeah, but you don't want to get any closer to the door.
I don't want to get
wanna
any closer to the
stay.
door.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I think this would be a perception because you're not specifically not touching stuff. You're just looking at this point.
19 plus 9, 28.
19 plus 9, 28. I would say that there's one thing you pick up on, and that's on the metal doors. The cubes were so interesting. They were kind of unusual, so it kind of took your attention immediately. And now you know they kind of hide this glyph of warding. But you notice something else. That I mentioned that there were figures around the queen. There are 7 figures, in fact. They all look like guards or knights, perhaps. And each of them is holding aloft an identical looking sword. And when you step back and you kind of look at these swords, they don't look like normal swords. They almost look a bit like keys. They have like jagged tips, and then they kind of have straights, and then they have basket hilts that almost wrap around. Not quite Kingdom Hearts Keyblade, but
I was gonna say, are these Keyblades right now? Okay,
kind of getting there. Yeah, kind of a little bit. But more cool and fantasy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like you look around. That's the only thing you can really pick up on. The rest of this place is pretty plain, pretty bare bones.
Okay. I think then I am going to head back up, knowing that every you know,
don't worry about that. You know that they're there.
I know the traps.
I'm not going to gotcha. I'm not going to be like, you didn't say that you were looking out for the tripwires. So
yeah, just every 20, 40, and 60 on the way up. So yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. You've got those. You found them. You figured them out. No problem. You can avoid those easily. You might need to, and you've told Willowsong, but like if you bring Willowsong down here, you might just want to like, be like, hey, watch out for these. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, you can make your way back up. You know how to open the door.
Do I hear anyone?
See, by the way, when you do you want to like listen and try
I want to listen
for, like,
behind the painting.
There?
Yeah.
You can find a suitable moment to jump out. The other thing you'll notice is that on this side, there is actually like what seems to be like a switch, which you think might deactivate that sword trap as well. Like it's like a safety lock that will stop it springing out.
Okay. Which I will totally do for sure.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's just because I looked at your past perception, you totally would have noticed that.
Okay.
So yeah, you can lock that in place. You don't have to worry about that trap anymore. And then you find a quiet moment and you step out. And you step out into an empty gallery. You can shut the door behind you.
Okay. Let's so from the Queen's Gallery, I can head into the antechamber.
Yes.
And from there, according to my notes, the only other place is the East Tower?
The public available areas, yeah. So this is where I wish I had been able to send you the little map I drew. So from the Queen's Gallery, you can access public areas wise. There is the South Tower, which I don't believe I mentioned last time, which is called the Eyrie. And it's basically, you know, the moon door in Game of Thrones and stuff, where it's like a big sort of like audience chamber, and then they can like throw people out the hole in the bottom. It's like that. Okay. It's basically where the queen holds her executions and trials, and then when she doesn't like somebody, she lets them drop through the moon door. Yeah. Or in this case, the air door. I don't know. But yeah, that is called the South Tower. You also have access to, from here, the Great Hall, which is where the main party is, the courtyard, which is the big open area. It's very cold though. You have the East Tower and the antechamber as well, and then the East Wing, which is like a connecting corridor. Everywhere else is pretty much locked down and there's a private space. Okay, what are the closest private spaces that I'm not supposed to go to? Yes, the closest private spaces are there is the West Tower, which is Willowsong can tell you is where it's basically like a bathing tower for like the guards and the courtiers. Okay. So they don't use the upstairs like Queen's chambers. So it's got like, you know, bathrooms and saunas and things like that kind of built into it. And so that is, you could get access to that from the Queen's Gallery. You also, from there, you could then get into the kitchens and the West Wing, which has stairs that lead up to the Queen's chambers in the upper parts of the castle. And then from there, you could get access to the North Tower, which Willowsong actually doesn't know that much about. She says it's the one place that she couldn't get much information about. Okay, interesting. Kind of unknown. Okay, I think that now that I'm out, I'll let Willowsong know. I've made it out. I'm heading to the Great Hall. Did you find that person you said might be able to help? I did, yes. I'm still not sure how much they can be trusted, but they've told me that if anybody would know a password for the vault, it would probably be those agents, the Unseelie agents that you've already sort of had one encounter with. I don't think we can do much about the one that's already gone, but if we can corner another one, we may be able to learn the password from them. Did you find anything else down there? Did you think you find any more clues?
The only thing is on the door. The queen was surrounded by 7 guards that hold identical swords that look almost like keys.
Yes, I think I've seen them. She's got 2 with her now. I think they're her elite guards. They do have rather unusual swords, not quite keys, but I can see a similarity in the design. Yes, I've seen a few of them. There's a few more around the castle, but the only ones I've got eyes on right now are with the queen herself. But maybe you may be able to find another one of these guards somewhere.
Yes, no, that would be
They
great.
are her elites, though. I would not recommend trying to. I think that they'll probably be very resistant to things like poisons or things like that. You may need to find a more sort of mundane way of obtaining their sword if you can. Maybe there might be one. There might be one in another part of the castle, perhaps isolated, not within easy viewing.
Yes, my thought is to go to one of the off limits and see if there's an elite there or any other clues.
All right, be careful.
Okay, so she had said that the ones that I had an encounter with, they might have the password, but then I need a sword.
And if you wanted to, she could probably be like, leave that with me. I will corner one and probe their mind and get the password. Like, I think Willowsong will be like, leave that. You get the key. I'll deal with the password.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
Sure.
Okay, so then I would like to try to make my way over to... I would like to try to make my way over towards the West Tower.
Yes, so that is the bathing tower.
Yes.
Yes, that's one.
Is there just bathing happening there? Like, well,
I mean, it could be like there could be sleeping quarters. It's just Willowsong's notes only mentioned it that there are baths there for the castle staff.
Well, let's see. There's 2. If there's 2 elites with the queen right now,
and then that connects to the kitchen, and then the West Wing, and then there's stairs from the West Wing that go up into the queen's private chambers.
Okay, so all of the illegal spots start with the West Tower, essentially.
Yeah, the western side of the castle is basically locked down.
Gotcha.
The eastern side is open, western side locked down.
Okay, I would like to then I would try to go to the illegal side, please.
Alrighty, that, my friend, is going to be a stealth check.
Okay.
To see if you can sneak past the guards on patrol, because each of these areas, like when you get close to them, there's probably like 2 standard guards just watching the doorways and the corridors leading into them. I mean, you're a skilled sneak. You can get past them. You can use distractions. You can, throw a bottle, Last of Us style, and then sneak past or whatever and do all that kind of stuff.
I hope so. I rolled a 12, but I have plus 14, so 26.
26. All right. Okay. All right, these 2 guards are unaware of your presence, and you sneak from the Queen's Gallery into a round tower. It becomes steamy as you get in. You can feel the sort of air become a lot more moist and a lot more warm. And this tower is split over several floors. There is a floor below, and there are 2 floors above. The steam and the smoke and the sort of fog and the mist is coming from the floor below you, almost coming up through vents. And you can hear the sounds of sort of like laughing and joking and probably other things going on upstairs.
Okay, so I can hear there are definitely people in this.
There are definitely people here, and they're not guests. Like this, you can hear the rough voices of hobgoblins. You can hear the voices of elves. These sound, and they kind of have the same sorrowful voice as like you've heard the other sort of servants of the queen having. Okay, they have this kind of like dour demeanor. But you're like hearing them laugh and sort of like make jokes and stuff, but it's kind of bleak humor.
Okay. Is there enough? Is this like room super steamy? Like, am I able to like stealthily hide and make my way through?
If you go, so downstairs is steaming. You think it might be like almost like a sauna kind of thing, like an ice bath or like a sauna or something. Not ice bath, the other one. Steam room.
Yeah.
Or you could, but if you go up, that's probably, you think that you're kind of maybe getting into like barracks or like bathtubs and stuff like that and showers and things. Probably not steamy enough to like completely hide above, but downstairs, yeah, absolutely. It's basically like being in a fog cloud. It's like being in concealment.
Okay, then I'm gonna head downstairs and see if it connects to the next illegal place.
Okay. Downstairs, there is a connection. There is like a corridor that will lead into the kitchens, it looks like. But it's like a service entrance really more than anything. But as you're making your way down there, you hear the sounds of guards talking. And you notice that sort of on several of the benches where they've kind of laid out their armor, one suit of armor does look very different. Like it looks much more ornate. It looks much more sort of like well kept, like an officer's armor. You can see folded up clothes. No sword though.
No sword.
And that's when you kind of overhear like, look at this symbol of my office. Never be caught dead without this thing. And you hear a couple of voices like, yeah, we know. You're one of the special guards. We know. You talk about it all the bloody time. Don't care about your stupid key sword. And they sort of like grumble and sort of like, blah, blah, blah. And you kind of hear like grumblings of like people, like co-workers basically.
Okay. I would like to, I'm trying to think with a flashback. What could I get that can help?
I'd say there's 2 regular guards and one of these elite guards, and they're basically sat around like a little stone, almost like a little campfire, like stone campfire pit, but it's full of coals and it's pumping out hot steam, and they're sat on like kind of stone benches in this kind of like locked off room.
Okay.
And you're kind of like pressed up against the wall, like listening in, like you can kind of look around and peek. And the armor and the clothing is there, but yeah, he's basically got this like sword next to him. And he's like holding his hand, and like the others are like, it's gonna bloody rust, you know, it's magic, it can't rust. Well, you don't know that. And that kind of conversation.
Okay, I love that. I would like to attempt to stealthily steal the clothes from this bench that they're sitting on, or whatever they're resting.
Yeah, you don't even need to make a check for that. You can do that.
Okay. I steal those clothes and I stuff them.
You now have an elite guard outfit.
Okay.
You want to put them in the bag of holding?
No, I do not want to put them in the bag of holding. I don't know what else is going on in there. I'm good. I'm just the bag of holding has served its purpose for now. It's done.
Okay.
Elite guard. But I kind of really like the idea of trying to knock all these guys out and just scooping them all up in my bag.
If you would like to try. They are kind of like facing each other. They're kind of sat in like a little circle talking to each other.
Okay. Have an elaborate scheme, I think.
I mean, that's what this is all about. It's all about the elaborate scheme.
I would like to. Okay, what's the best way to do this? I have lockpicks, right? I have like pretty much. I have a decent amount of lockpicks.
Yes.
I would like to. I think I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna full send. I want to douse 2 lockpicks with the last 2 doses of my Star Lily.
Okay.
Which I guess I have to do. I'll tell you my whole plan first.
Tell me the whole plan.
Okay.
Tell me the whole plan.
I would like to douse 2 lockpicks with my Star Lily drops, and then my plan is to take my explosion that I got from town, my firecrackers, and I would like to like roll it into the middle of these 3.
Into the basically the coal, like the thing where all the hot coals
are. Well, like so
stuff.
if they're around something, like that's why I want it to be right in the center of them. I want to basically, my plan, my hope is that this will jar them enough where I can flick the lockpicks into the 2 mediocre ones. Yes,
like little dots.
Yeah, and then grab the buff or the elite guard, the one who's holding the keyblade. That's not a keyblade.
Sword key.
The sword key, thank you.
Key sword.
The key sword. The key sword. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna believe that when Willowsong said more mundane things, I just need to choke this guy out. I want to, and then get behind him and then, you know, yeah.
Yeah, sure, go for it. All right. For the sake of brevity, and because I do want to wrap this up in 2, you don't need to worry about the poison kit.
Let's go.
You can, this is what Tarkhal does, right? You're an assassin, you're a sneak, you're a thief, you're a rogue. You leap around the corner, flick the 2 lock pits into the necks of the 2 like mundane, like the 2 regular guards, and they just kind of flop onto the ground. They kind of reach up, kind of stumble, their towels fall off. There's these hobgoblin and an elf, and they're now naked and flailing around on the floor, looking very, very, dazed and distracted. But the other guy, like, he is like pulling the blade. He's like, intruder. He's like pulling the blade. He's like, where's my horn? Where's my whistle? And he's like, it's a big burly bugbear basically. And he's like pulled the key sword out. And probably going to be initiative. Like,
okay, yeah.
But we'll see.
Okay.
He has got no armor. I just rolled a 1 for his initiative.
Okay.
He has a sword, and that's all he has.
Okay, I rolled a 13.
You go first.
Okay, so I'm assuming that this is gonna be the actual surprise. If I use Kiss of Silver, I'm in the fog. I'm hidden.
I would say, yeah, like I would say at this point, like he knows that somebody's there because he knows that you flick these things out, but he doesn't know you're there. I would say this is a surprise round.
Okay, I'm gonna try to. I still think I wanna
murderize this guy.
I'm gonna have to murderize him. I'm pretty sure. So I think I'm gonna go for if he pulled out his sword, I guess I obviously can't chokehold him. So I'm going to try to.
You could. It's just be a grapple. Like you just wrap your arms and like try and keep his blade away from you. Might make it a bit harder, but you could still try it.
Yeah, but
or you could just shank this guy.
I'm gonna try to shank. I'm gonna just try to throw my Kiss of Silver from the fog.
Like from the fog, like appearing behind the sword, like jabbing into the neck.
Yeah,
absolutely, you can.
Okay.
You have advantage.
Okay, good, because I rolled a 16 total. And then I rolled a 14 plus.
Well, he has no armor.
True. You're right.
He's in a sauna.
Okay, so 23.
23 will hit. That is automatically a crit because he is surprised. We use my crunchy crit rules, which means we max the dice and then we roll all the dice again.
Which is hold on, where's my Kiss of Silver? Why is D&D Beyond? It's never been easier. It's never been easier.
It's never been easier.
Okay, where's my bonus action features? Sneak attack.
Sneak attack is 66.
Yeah.
So we're talking 36 damage off the bat.
Yep.
And then roll another 66.
I'm just gonna do it on the internet. Roll 66. That's gonna be.
You can do it in D&D Beyond.
Oh, that's 30.
So another 30.
Another 30.
So 66 points of damage.
And then also my Kiss of Silver,
from
right?
Kiss of Silver. So 66, 74 plus another D4.
Okay. And
74 currently.
That's a 4. I rolled max damage on that.
78 points of damage. Do you want to use Willowsong's Patron's Wrath as well?
I think because I've kind of like before this mission, I've been really holding off on using that stuff. But I think now that I've kind of felt her emotions, I would like to use Patron's Wrath.
Cool. You feel that connection and you feel this sense of wonder, relief, joy that you've called on this power.
Ooh.
And when you plunge the dagger in, it almost flares with the head of a green dragon as the poison drips into the thing, dealing, I think, because it's your proficiency bonus, which brings us to 83 points of damage. You absolutely murderize this guy. Like you just, like, Assassin's Creed style, like, Requiescat in Pace, and just like rip this, like the blade just comes out the back of the neck. He just flumps to the ground, this big, tall, blue-skinned bugbear. And the sword just comes out of his grip and he's bleeding out on the ground. The two others are like, just kind of like mumbling at you as they're drugged up.
Okay. Just as a note, I did roll. They're drunk for 2 hours and 1 for 2 and 1 for 3.
Great. In a sauna. That
in a
definitely
sauna
won't go badly for them.
No, not at all. That's fine. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine. You've killed one dude.
I already killed one dude. It's okay. Okay. I want to take this key sword.
Okay, grabbed, got it.
And I want to update Willowsong and let her know I've got the key sword. I'm not sure how you're doing on the password, but I may have incapacitated a couple more guards.
We should move quickly then.
Yeah.
I have also had to do something similar.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna stealthily but quickly make my way back to the Queen's Gallery.
So if you want to move stealthy but quick, you are going to have disadvantage on the stealth check. If you'd like to go slow, it's just a normal stealth check.
Disadvantage scares me a lot. You know what? I know we have to move quickly, but can I just? It's just me and these guards that are drunk and done. I'm wondering if I should just disguise myself one last time.
You could certainly set the time.
No, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to. Actually, yeah, I'm going to. I'm gonna disguise myself as an elite guard with the key sword.
Got the uniform, easy.
Yeah.
Give yourself advantage on this roll. You have the uniform. You have a full matching set of disguise.
Thank you for the advantage because I rolled a 10, which would have been 19, and then I rolled a 15, which is 15 plus 9, 24.
24. This is probably the best disguise you have. The helm of the guard, which was kind of set on the side to the bench, is really just disguising most of your features. Somebody would have to really pay close attention to you. It does take you some time, like to put the armor on and but luckily you don't have to do too much prosthetics because you can just kind of whack the helmet on. You put the armor on, pad it where you need it. The guy was a bugbear, so he's a little bit bigger than you. But you already had some padding and stuff in place. And yeah,
All right, I'll update Willowsong. I am now an elite guard. Make your way to the Queen's Gallery with me. And then I will, I'm not even going to go stealthily anymore. I'm just going to, well, I guess, yeah, I don't have to be stealthy. I'm an elite guard. I feel like it's suspicious to be stealthy and an elite guard. Like, why would an elite guard be rummaging around?
Question. It's a great question.
I'm not going to go stealthy. I'm just going to go quickly.
And you do so. As you leave the bathing tower, the guards who are like on the entrance salute, sir. And you just sort of walk past, move with purpose, as I once learnt, to get into conventions for free, and not pay for tickets. Just wear any lanyard and
move with purpose. That's so true.
Surprisingly, how often it works. And yeah, you make your way back through, and it's not too far. You manage to catch up. And waiting for you is Willowsong, who does look a little sort of like nervous. She's kind of like glancing around. Did you tell her that you're going to be a guard? Like,
yeah, I said I'm now an elite guard when I told her. Yes, yeah. I'm now an elite guard.
And she like nods in your direction. And you can see that there are a couple of like some attendees have come back into the room, and Willowsong quickly moves over to them and is, you hear her making sort of like some conversation. Oh yes, you should go and speak to this person, blah blah blah, kind of doing what you did with the gnome about the artistry. And they're like, oh, thank you, my dear, and they head off, giving you a brief moment of time to make your way into the secret door.
Okay.
And she'll let you lead the way.
Sweet. So I lead the way. I let her know about the traps.
This armor, by the way, you're currently wearing, it's like breastplates, which I don't think you're proficient in. So it is like going to be a bit clunky if you keep the armor on, if anything should happen.
Okay.
Not that it
gotcha. Yeah, not that anything would happen. I understand. Yeah.
No.
I was going to say, I want to keep this on at least till we get to the door downstairs, because I feel like I want to look like one of the people on the door.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Perfect. You make your way down. You point out the traps in the way. You get all the way to the bottom. Willowsong confirms, like, yep, these things are still active. We need to be careful. Don't try not to make a noise. Make one last stealth check for me with disadvantage because of the armor, and I'm going to make a stealth check for Willowsong as well.
Okay.
Just for the old conch, the old magic conch.
Okay, mine is at least loud. My first roll was a 6 plus 14, so dirty 20, but that's dirty pretty 20. Low for me. And then I rolled a 19, so the 6.
Well, don't forget as well, like, you have your reliable talent, which is whenever you roll lower than a 9, it counts as a 10.
Oh, I did.
That's a rogue thing you have.
Yeah, that must have been on my recent level up. Okay. Yeah, then I guess it's a 24.
24, which is good because Willowsong, like where she's taken her draconic hybrid form, she doesn't have shoes. She has like almost like kind of taloned feet, and they are like clacking and scraping, and you can see she's not used to it.
Yeah.
And she's like having to like stop, and she's like looking at you like, what do? I don't know how to walk quietly. And like her tail is like slapping the things and stuff like that. And she just kind of like holds her hands up. She could fly, like she points at her wings, but you know that those tripwires are kind of going all the way down.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want Willowsong to do?
Do you have to stay in this form?
It's I don't, but I can shift back, but and she like points like, I won't have any shoes. I won't have any shoes, and like I'm like she won't have like I'm
gonna give the fans what they want. I'll tell her that I'll carry her down. And I'll give Mark what he wants to.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's
nothing to do with the fans.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. She can transform back, but like, yeah, she's kind of like, yeah, she if you want her to, she will do, but she'll.
That's an interesting question. So when she transforms back into the Willowsong that I fell for, I mean, her weight and everything changes as well, right? Like it's a true transformation. Or she's dense?
I mean, she's still because she's still like when she's in her draconic form, she's tall, like she's maybe sort of like 6-7 feet tall when she's in her hybrid form.
Yeah.
And so she kind of shrinks down, but she was always quite tall. She was very willowy, so she was like maybe like nearly 6 foot anyway. So she kind of loses about a foot of height, but her weight doesn't really change. Her musculature doesn't change. She's very sort of, she's still very feminine and soft, even in the draconic form.
Okay.
But yeah, she like transforms back and becomes a sort of more sort of young, elven druidic kind of cottage lady that she first was when you met her, but now like the fine dress kind of doesn't hang on her properly because it's sized differently and stuff, but she'll sort of like cling on to you as you kind of carry down and like avoiding these tripwires and things like that, and when you get to the bottom you can kind of let her down.
Yep.
And she doesn't transform back. She stays in this kind of form for now.
Okay.
Just sort of like holding like her things, but she brings her hand up, casts a spell, and confirms that all of the wards are still in place. She'll tell you in her mind the password is and I didn't write one down. I should have done. She tells you what the password is.
Okay, that's fine.
And you can say that password. And she says, if you say that, it will disable the alarm. And it's probably something like, let air and night become one, mingle in the twilight, mingle in the midnight rhyme, or something like that. It'll be like a little poetic phrase that you say.
Gotcha.
That disables the alarm.
Okay. I will first, though, hold the key sword in the same manner that the knights are holding. So if it's up or forward, however it looks.
Yeah, they're just kind of like holding it up in the air.
Okay.
But like, are you doing that from back near the stairs, or are you going to move towards the
door? I'm starting with it up, out, and then I'm going to walk towards the door.
Okay.
And I'm going to...
when you get about 10 feet from the door, a voice sort of emerges from it. Who dares enter the Queen's vault? Present thy key. And then as you sort of are holding this up, a few seconds later, it is, welcome, knight. Your key is accepted, as is your oath. And then the doors...
Nice.
And they open. Okay.
Now, I will ask Willowsong in my head, does everything look dispelled now? Is everything good?
Seems to be. There is something more inside. I imagine that's the relics or whatever, but we should still move cautiously. I don't think this is quite over just yet. But let's move cautiously.
Okay.
But yes, this door, we're secure.
Okay, then I wanna move forward just a little bit more. Like I wanna head in.
Yep. You head in. No traps, no issues.
Okay.
When it is beyond the door, there is maybe a short sort of corridor, maybe 10, 20 feet. And then it opens. There is another door, that begins to open as you approach it. It just opens automatically. Silently, you notice. Doesn't make a sound. The room beyond is black. Completely dark. Pitch black. Your dark vision kicks in, and you see the outline. The room is maybe about 120 feet long and about 90 feet wide. And arrayed, and this is where I might very quickly, I know we might have to go over a little bit if that's all right,
that's okay,
my bro. I'm going to draw you the world's worst MS Paint drawing to kind of show you roughly what this looks like. But yeah, you see the room itself is square, almost, a little bit rectangular, but arrayed in columns of 3 and 4 rows of them. Are stone plinths, and on those stone plinths are big blocks of thick ice, mist coiling off of them, dripping down the stone plinths and almost forming like a fog on the ground. And they are just solid blocks of ice, about 5-foot cubes on these stone plinths. That is not the only thing, though.
Okay.
There is noises that you hear.
Great.
Rubbish map. I'm going to put this in our Discord in the live comms. Or depending on where did I just save this? There we go. It's so bad. I'm so sorry.
No, this is fine. This is perfect.
So yeah, it's like a square room, 3 rows with 4 columns of these stone plinths, right?
Okay.
And they're about sort of like, you could hide behind these. You could use these as cover. They're almost like pillars. They go up about sort of like the stone plinths are maybe like 2 feet off the ground, and then these 5-foot blocks of ice, so about 7 foot tall almost. You also, because of your passive perception and Willowsong's dark sight and things like that, there are strands of web. They are webs that join up some of these blocks together. They are attached to the walls. They are attached to the ceiling. They are attached to each other. These kind of like this maze, this labyrinth of webs, all kind of connecting with one another between these blocks of ice and the walls of the chamber itself. And then Willowsong kind of just points up, and in your head you hear, above us. I can hear them. And you see now something is moving up there. A big shape, large creature.
Okay.
Spider-like.
Yeah.
Certainly spider-like.
Okay. And it's just moving on the ceiling right now. It hasn't taken notice of us yet.
Doesn't seem to. I mean, you've only just entered the room. You were being quiet. If you move any further, it's going to be like new stealth checks and stuff.
Okay.
But you begin to hear muttering, sort of ramblings like, And just another year, another 10 years, another 20, 100 years, maybe. Yes. Soon we'll be free. Soon the Queen will release us, and we don't need to be in this dark place anymore. Yes, we can find the light. Find the blessed, lovely light. Yes. Like my lantern. And then there is this beam of light, and it's kind of like a searchlight. It passes from up above you, passing over these rows of blocks, little blocks of ice, so many, so untouched. No one comes here. Pointless guarding, pointless. As you see this figure, and you can now see in the kind of like the afterglow of this lantern that they seem to be holding is a woman's body, a woman's kind of top half of her body on a spider's body. So like the back end of a spider, a drider.
This is yeah.
And but they're different. Like their spider body is almost white, almost luminous. Like you can see like pulses of light in it. Long sort of white hair. And she looks very ragged and dirty and is kind of like looking down, passing this lantern. And you kind of have to press yourself up against the wall as the lantern passes over. You can see that she carefully avoids the lantern falling on the blocks of ice, though. Like she's kind of angling the cone so it's in between them, like in the rows, or it's around the edges on the walls. And then she just points it up to the ceiling, and you can hear this kind of sing-songy voice like, love light, soon we will be free. Okay. Very creepy and very
super creepy. I really loved that for sure. Like genuinely, it was really good. So it seems like to me these blocks of ice have things in them. Why is she avoiding them with the light, right? You said she's purposely avoiding shining the light on the...
That's certainly what it looks like, yeah.
Okay.
Willowsong might even say like, I don't know what we're going to do about these blocks of ice. If the Queen herself has made that, I wouldn't recommend you touch it. And you can see that like you can feel the cold coming off these blocks of ice. Like it is intense.
Okay. Would I know if a dryad is a monster?
A drider is a monstrosity, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna see. Would Willowsong be able to charm this monstrosity?
She can certainly try. There will be a saving throw.
Okay.
Would you want to tell Willowsong to do that? Willowsong won't do it unless you tell her to.
I'm checking.
She's like crouched down in like her human form now, like in her elven form. Sorry, she's like crouched down next to you, like kind of like leaning next to you, like probably saying like, "This is a little. I've not done anything like this before."
Okay, so the problem is that you gave me Charm Monster. You gave me access to it, and the player in me is like, I should use this for this now, or is this just so Mark can have fun with me with literal Spider Woman? So maybe I want to go the true James Bond route and just try to make my way through while dodging the spotlight. Did I happen to take notice? Did she do it in a specific pattern? Like if we were to wait again?
Very erratic. She's very erratic with it. You can probably like watch for it. And as long as she doesn't know where you are or isn't alerted that you're here, you're pretty sure you can avoid it. Like you know when to stay still, and like, she's not alerted to your presence just yet. The biggest thing is like, so I've just sent you another map. You can kind of see like how some of the blocks are kind of webbed to each other and webbed to the walls and things like that.
Okay.
You're going to need to either make an acrobatics check to walk through these, or it's going to slow you down to move through the webs. And you can see that the webs are kind of tucked to the wall. And then it seems to be like a lattice of webs that she's walking on above you, looking down.
But what about that potion of ant that I was given that has two uses and allows me and Willowsong to turn into a small ant for 5 minutes?
I'm gonna give you. Here's how I'm gonna play it. You don't get both people. One of you can drink this potion and become very small, Ant-Man sized. You will not become an actual ant.
Okay.
But it shrinks you down to like minuscule, tiny size.
Okay.
And it's erratic how long it will last. I'm going to say it's going to last 1d10 rounds.
Okay. All right. So then here's what I would like to do. I would like to step back out of this room a little tiny bit, because you said there was like a 10-foot corridor before we got into this.
There is. The door's shut.
The door's like I can't leave this room at all?
You look back and that door that you came in, the door's shut, and when you walk up to it, it doesn't open.
Okay, but when I walk up, is the door directly against the wall, or is it corridor door and I can't leave that corridor?
You are in this room.
Yeah.
The door is flush with the wall.
Okay.
You are stuck in here.
Yeah, I understand. So then can I
But you do think as long as you're like quiet and you don't do anything, as long as you don't move or do anything crazy right now, she's not going to know you're here.
I
know,
but
you are safe for now.
How quietly can I take this armor off?
Oh, that's a great question, and I think that would come down to a roll because that is like getting armor off. I don't know if you've ever like worn like full like breastplate.
No,
or, like,
yeah,
plate armor.
I know.
Yeah, it's loud and heavy and annoying.
Why does this door have to be closed? What's going on, man? I just want to take a couple feet back.
Weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah, so
okay.
Weird. It's almost like the DM wants you to deal with the problem and not just be like, I leave the room.
Yeah.
I leave the room. Problem solved.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so then what I will do is I will give Willowsong the potion and relay that like this will only last this won't last forever, but it should help you get through the room as best you can.
She will say, there is also the other question of there are 12 blocks in here. I think epilogue is in one of them. I don't know which one. I can try and use detect magic, but it's faint. It's hard to see anything through the ice. There may be clues on the plinths, but I don't know which one epilogue is in.
And I guess if you're small and fly around to look at them,
I can try.
But you don't know when the potion's going to run out.
No, but I'm not. I can hide myself if I need to. If she does detect me, I'll just need you to protect me while I look.
Right, of course. All right, I think that's the plan then. Willowsong gets the potion. I want to try to take off this. I guess I wonder if it's probably worse to take off the armor, honestly. But I'm gonna have disadvantage.
Also, it takes like 5 minutes to take off armor as well.
Okay, so then forget it. I'm in this armor. I should have done it before I come in this room.
That's fine.
Yeah. So then if epilogue is in one of these, we have to melt one of these though. How?
It's a great question.
How do we even do that? Oh, the lantern. She was dodging the ice. Okay. We need that. Willowsong, we need the lantern. There's a reason why she wasn't shining it on the ice. It must have some sort of properties to...
Queen of air and darkness. Makes sense that maybe light would melt her magic, her ice, maybe. That makes sense, yes. Maybe we could... But it might mean that we have to reveal ourselves to her. We could, if we know which one epilogue's in, we could position ourselves there. She shines the light on us.
Yes.
Maybe it melts the ice, but it means that she'll be able to attack us. She'll be able to see us.
And it's a fight no matter what.
I mean, unless I don't have any fire magic, I can only breathe poison.
Yes, and I got an ant potion instead of some sort of fire, so that was good for me.
All right. I will try and find epilogue. Maybe there's some clues on these plinths. Once I find it, I think it will be up to you to try and lure her and keep her busy whilst the light melts this block.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yes. No, that sounds good. As good as we can get.
All right. And she'll just sort of like, she might just like reach over and like just squeeze your hand a little bit because like she's like, this is it now. And then she takes it back and then she'll drink the potion. Can you roll a D10 for me, please?
Sure. D10 is this guy right here.
It's that guy.
It's that guy. I rolled a 7.
7 rounds. In 7 rounds, using her fly speed, which she does still have, because she can magically fly, she can... How would Willowsong do this? She's methodical. She's going to check she basically is going to try and check as many as she can in the time that she thinks she has. So she's going to move as quickly as possible using this hand speed. All right. I'm going to roll.
Okay.
Let's roll the dice.
Roll the dice. It's Dungeons and Dragons, dude.
It's Dungeons and Dragons. Let's roll some dice. I'm going to give it like a chance. Basically, there are 12 of these things in the room. Here's how it's going to do. Here's how I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a D12. And every time she rolls, like the chances are going to increase that she can find the right one, right? But it's going to, every round she's basically going to be able to check one of these things.
Okay.
And if I roll a 12, she gets it right.
Yep.
And then I'll mark one off. And then if I roll that one again, I know that I've already got that one, so I'll roll again.
Okay.
What are you going to be doing while Willowsong does this? Because this is about 7 rounds of flying around in tiny ant form, tiny little ditty Ant-Man wasp.
I think
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think I'm gonna try to. It looks like I can go based on your art that you've sent me. I would need to go through 2 sets of webs to get to the somewhat center of the room. If I take it from the left side.
Those webs are just going to give you an idea as well. Basically, like moving between like the rows and the columns. You basically, the way it works is you can make an acrobatics check. If you fail that acrobatics check, you basically trip the webs. If you don't make the acrobatics check, you can still move through it, but you just have to move at an incredibly slow speed. That's it.
Okay, well then I think how big is this room? Like how far are the pillars from each other?
The room is about 120 feet long and 90 feet wide, so they should be roughly about every 30 feet.
Okay, then if normally I would be able to move 30 feet per round with my speed, I think I'm just going to try to move through the sets of webs within those rounds and try to get to the center of the room.
Okay. All right. So, remind me again, because I was rolling dice. Are you acrobaticsing?
I guess
or just moving slow.
I'm just going to move because if I
all right.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to move.
In that case, the only thing you need to roll then is a stealth check as you move around. I'm not going to roll one for Willowsong because she's tiny.
Yeah, tiny lady. 15 plus 14, 29.
29. Move, taking your time. Mission impossible. Catherine Zeta-Jones in entrapment, making your way through, avoiding these webs, like making sure you don't touch them, like, and because you can see as she's moving around above you, tiny vibrations, and even these webs down here. And suddenly the connection of like, if I touch one of these, she's going to know. She's going to feel the vibrations and know that I'm down here. But you managed to make your way to the center. And so you're going right dead center of the room, right?
Like in my mind, I was, I would say so. Between the two, this is between the two. That's fine.
All right. So in a sort of flash, I'm going to make a stealth check for her to see how well she does. Okay, it's not bad. As you move to the center, you eventually make your way to the middle, and that's just as the potion runs out. As you see, Willowsong is like hovering, and then she kind of bamps back into reality, and she has to hover for a moment. She kind of like catches herself so that she doesn't hit the floor, and so she's just very gently, magically floating in the air and lowers herself down, and then she points at the one. So 3 in from the door at the top. So 1, 2, third one down, right in the middle, right that one.
That's where I am. Let's go. Okay.
She points at it and she says, in your mind, she says, in Sylvan, the plinth says endings. I think this is the right one.
Right. Okay. And I'll let her know if these webs move, she'll know that's where we are. So if we can. Is there webs going to the top of the ice pillar as well?
All connected, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. All connected all around.
How can we disrupt those webs so that she shines her torch on there is the question. I mean, can I take my Kiss of Silver and just like slice those webs that are above?
You absolutely can.
Okay. That's an option. Not what I'm going to do. Not yet.
Nice.
Cause Fear, Hellish Rebuke, Mage Hand. Can I use Mage Hand to just grab those webs?
Like
and basically play them like a little violin.
So the ones next to you, because you and Willowsong are currently next to this plinth, right? Where the one that you think contains epilogue, you're like right next to it. Do you and Willowsong want to move away and then Mage Hand it? And Willowsong will be like, that's a great idea. Yes, we could do that. And then maybe she fires, maybe she attacks, but we won't be there.
Yeah, I want to move back towards like the left behind, like basically by that pillar, because it's another 30 feet and Mage Hand is 30 feet. So I should be able to be there, so cast it
to the side,
and then dash behind the
okay. Willowsong will come with you. I'm just gonna make a stealth check for her.
Okay.
Yours I'm gonna keep as is. She's fairly stealthy, like she kind of lightly pads her way over. And she will actually say in your head, she's like, if anything goes wrong, I'll prepare minor illusion and I'll try and make a sound in the corner, the opposite corner of the room, like footsteps. I'll try and make it sound like footsteps are over there or something. Try and lure it away from us as much as we can, but go for it.
Smart. So I do the Mage Hand and I played the violin.
The webs vibrate and you hear, here, intruders, yes, the sun can finally come out. And the beam just scans over like almost like a white glowing eye just sweeps across and focuses on that area, kind of catching that plinth in a big circular radius of 30 foot of light. And you hear like a
oh my gosh.
And you can see that where one of her spider hands is holding this lantern, her human hands have this ornate black and silver gunpowder rifle. And she's like aiming it and looking down with her multiple eyes like, I can't see in the shadows, but I can see in the light. Where are you? And she hovers the lantern there, and you watch as the ice is beginning to melt. But after about 6 seconds, she's like, "No, no, no, no! We mustn't melt the queen's treasures." And then the lantern like flashes away, and she's like, "Where are you?" And she's now scanning the walls, but obviously frustrated. But you can see that about half of it's melted, and she's like, "Ah, it's so close."
Okay.
I don't know if she'll fall for that trick again.
I don't think she will. Let me see. No. Can't command you because that's too dangerous. Am I gonna fight this thing? I don't want to fight this thing.
Let me try and charm her. If worst case scenario, we have to fight her anyway.
No, you're right. It won't matter.
It might work.
Okay, I have a question. If she's going to do that, can I like immediately prepare and follow up with command?
Yeah, you could ready an action and say like, if the spell doesn't work, I'm going to cast command or something like that.
Yeah, if the spell doesn't work, I'm going to cast command and
okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. If the spell doesn't work, I'm going to cast minor illusion of someone trying to reach up to the block where epilogue is.
Okay. All right. So like a kind of faintly shimmering hands reaching up towards it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Willowsong is actually going to step out towards that block as well, like make herself visible.
Okay.
Because she needs to see the creature and like, and she'll look at you and be like, "I'm sorry if this hurts." And then she's going to step out like, to cast the spell. She casts the spell. And unfortunately, you immediately hear Willowsong like, her mind is too broken, as she like utters this like draconic Asvornafnar, and then she kind of conjures the spell, and this Drider just snaps down and fires her gun.
Oh my gosh!
Just like smiles and laughs and then shoots a gun.
America.
This is going to be her aimed shot. And against Willowsong, whose AC she does not have that. It is going to hit Willowsong for a lot of damage, I'm afraid.
Oh no.
Which also means you're taking a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's going to be 18. That is going to be 32 points of piercing damage to Willowsong.
Holy Marcus.
32 points of piercing damage to you. And then the sun spider will start calling out like, "My lady, I found them. Guards, I found them. They're here. Intruders, I'm finding them. I'm going to kill them." And then we're going to roll initiative, but she continues rambling on like, "I'm not making it up this time. There really are people here. I'm going to kill them. Then you'll see. Then I'll be free. No, I'm not making it up." And she's like talking.
Yeah.
You get the impression that she's talking to somebody, but they don't believe her.
I have a question.
Yes.
Am I allowed to use my reaction for Hellish Rebuke since I was damaged?
Yes, you took damage from a creature. You absolutely can use Hellish Rebuke.
Okay, I'm going to use Hellish Rebuke right now on her.
Okay.
2d10 fire damage. I rolled it on D&D Beyond. It's 7 fire damage.
7 points of fire damage. You see the webs kind of burn around. She's like, "No, fire, no." And you see the webs kind of beginning to smolder, and like she's panicking and freaking out up above you on this kind of lattice work of webs above. "No burning, no fire." Okay. What'd you get on initiative?
I got 18 plus 4, 22.
22. You are going first, followed by the Sun Spider, followed by Willowsong. The lantern is locked on the block, and at the end of this round, it will melt the complete block. But there is a full round before that will take place because she's shining it onto Willowsong. And you can see Willowsong is like clutching her shoulder, like the kind of draconic blood spilling down her, and she's like slumped against it, like, oh. And she looks a lot more hurt than she normally does.
Okay, wow. I can't help her at all. I have nothing for her. So instead, I'm going to just try to lay my Kiss of Silver into this. How far up is this spider?
She's about 60 feet up in here, so it would be a disadvantage because it's long range.
Yeah, long range, and she's not within 5 feet of an ally, so it's just a regular. Oh, but I'm going first in initiative, so I would be.
Yeah, you have advantage, and you would get initiative. And
so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do
not critical. It's not a surprise, but you would get advantage and sneak attack.
Okay, I'm gonna try to just throw my Kiss of Silver. I rolled a 14 plus 9, 23, which I'm guessing.
Will hit.
Yeah,
kind of pierces into the bulbous, spidery underbelly.
Cool. Let's do the first is 7, and then the sneak attack damage, which will be 66, is 15.
15 points of damage.
Yeah, it's just not great.
It kind of pierces in, and you do hear a kind of like kind of yelp and shriek, like no. And must kill you for the queen.
I also want to activate my patron as well for poison damage.
Another point of the poison damage, unfortunately.
Resisted?
No effect.
Oh, no effect. Oh, okay.
Immune to poison. She's Speedra.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But the blade definitely digs in, and she winces and definitely looks hurt, like kind of like winces to it. And like looks down and is now trying to scan like where you moved away, right? So you're kind of still in the darkness, like this 30 foot of light that she's shining on Willowsong, like you're hidden in the darkness. I can't see you, but I can see her.
Okay.
End of turn.
I wanna use my I probably don't need to hide, but I'm gonna use my movement and bonus action to like move towards closer to the block, but not in the light. I want to actually wrap around the pillar that I was behind and then hide there.
Okay. Yep. Make a stealth check.
7 plus 14, 21.
Remember, it can't be lower than
than so 10. So 24.
24. Nice. Yeah, she does not seem to know where you are. She's like, I can hear you. You're touching my webs. I know you're there. But this one I can see. End of turn?
Yeah, it's end of my turn.
All right. She is going to replace her 2 attacks with her aimed shot. And in fact, actually, the first thing she's going to do is she points the lantern, and she's going to use her lantern's revelation. She widens the cone to 60 feet, and she locks it on that entire back room. You are behind the pillar, so you are still hidden, but that light is almost burning you. You take immediately 5 points of radiant damage, as does Willowsong. So you take another 5.
Cool.
So you take 10. And this now fills up, and she is like, I'm watching. And then she's going to use her aim shot on Willowsong for another hit, unfortunately.
Oh, Mark.
Oh,
Shady. Mark.
Oh, Shady. Luckily, that was a really bad damage roll. That is going to be 20 points of damage to Willowsong, so 20 points of damage to you.
Okay. I can't uncanny dodge these, right? Because they're not my damage.
Not your attacks, yeah. No,
I want to retaliate anyway and burn her again.
Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke.
Yeah.
2d10 of fire damage.
I should have done this last time, but I didn't last time. That is going to be a failure on the dex save.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's 9 damage. 9 fire damage.
9 more points of damage. You see more of the webs burn, and like now it's almost beginning to buckle, and you can see bits under her breaking away. Like as the flame is coiling out and spreading, and she's kind of like swatting at it, trying to put it out. No. And that was your reaction.
That was my reaction.
Willowsong's turn. Willowsong, heavily bleeding now, is going to look up, and she's going to ready her action as the last pieces of the ice melt away. Epilogue clatters to the stone plinth, and you see this long, sleek black short sword. Willowsong grabs it and pulls it down, and basically will look around, and like you can see she's burning from this radiant light of the lantern, and she will find you and just be like, do you trust me?
Yes.
As she says that, as we go into a new round, the doors of the vault burst open, and standing in the doorway is the Queen of Air and Darkness.
Oh my God.
This 8 foot tall, dark, almost stormy blue, purple skinned woman with sort of cropped hair, braids, kind of in this big fishtail braid down the middle, shaved side, dressed in this regality, flanked by guards, and including a man that you saw earlier. He introduced himself as Barbarous the Grey.
Oh, this guy.
And well, he looks like he's been sort of dragged here. He doesn't look like he's been brought here on his own will. And as the door opens, just for a bit of flavor, the queen will be like, well, if it isn't the little dragon and her little imposter assassin, I must hand it to you. I've been waiting for you, and you nearly got away from me. My guards didn't do a very good job. I'm afraid that we all know how things have fallen, how you and your mother have fallen out, Willowsong. I was hoping to give you to her as a gift, you and your little man, But, well, maybe I'll just kill you for trying to steal from me. Artemis, this is the one that's impersonating you, isn't it? And you see Barbarous just kind of shake his head. He like nods his head. Yes, that's the poor fool who tried to pretend to be me. Listen, my contract with you is done. I am not under your retainer. I'm not killing for you anymore, Queen. Your Majesty, your business is your own. I've done, this is my last duty. He's the one. And he just looks over at you. He's like, I'm really sorry, kid. I would have loved to have helped you, but I owe some things. And he'll just like, but he'll kind of like nod and wink at you kind of thing. Like, as he kind of sees what Willowsong's holding.
Okay.
And he just nods. And Willowsong is just like, well, here goes. She grabs you. She points Epilogue at the floor and casts Disintegrate.
Oh my
and it
God.
creates a column of thing which goes to the bottom of the castle and down into the misty, endless chasms of the Feywild below. And you both drop as she like holds onto you, holding the sword.
Yeah.
She, as you are falling, the air rushing all around you, hear the queen screaming up above you. She thrusts the sword into your hand, pulls out a scroll, clenches it, and casts Plane Shift once you are out of the castle grounds and takes you back to Eveningstar.
Wow.
Just because we were a bit pressed on time, we've already gone a bit late. Had to, yeah.
That was still very cool. That was amazing.
Yeah. As you basically free fall, kind of clutching to each other to make sure you don't separate. And yeah, Willowsong cast Plane Shift once you're beyond the queen's sort of protection of anti-planar travel and teleports you back to Eveningstar. Epilogue in hand.
Woo!
As for breaking of the pact, not to go into too fine a point of it, but I think that once you get back to Eveningstar, once you've rested and recovered, you can see that Willowsong, all of her draconic stamina and strength has been fading, and she is nowhere near as strong and hardy as she used to be. And she's like, and she'll tell you, she kind of like says, yes, the bond between us has been, it's not meant to work with me in this form. Like, I'm weakened. My mother's, whatever binding she has done to prevent me becoming a dragon, I can't sustain this pact. It's draining me. It's yours now. And she's given you Epilogue. Like, you have bound to it. She's like, you can use that to sever the pact between us. You could also use it to undo her curse on me. But that's your choice. Once the pact is broken, I will not get weaker. I won't die, but I'll remain no different to a mage, really. No different to an elven mage. I'll be trapped like this. But it's your choice.
And I can only do one of those things, obviously, because
No. You can do both. You could do both. But she's giving you that choice of like, because she says to you like, I could stay like this. I could stay this elven woman, this person that you first met. I could cast away the heritage of Shadowbriar. I could no longer be a dragon. I could learn to live as an elf and be this. I could truly be Willowsong. But it's not who I am. It's not the real me. I do want to be a dragon again. But if this would make you happier, if this would make you more comfortable around me, if this could make you like me again, I will do it.
I'll look down an Epilogue and look back at Willowsong. It would never do for you to be something other than what you want to be. That is no way to live. And I think that the end of this pact and the end of your curse could be a fresh start so that we can get to know each other, who we really are, whatever that looks like. As friends.
Yes. I would like that. I have not had a friend before.
Well, it'll be an honor to be your first. And then I'll do whatever cool thing Epilogue does to end.
You place it on your palm. To break the curse on Willowsong, you place it against sort of like her chest, and you just make a cut. But this time, Epilogue doesn't cut them, but you feel something snap. You almost like cutting through ribbons or maybe chains that you couldn't see, that weren't physically there. as you drag the blade along her chest and body, something snaps and breaks, and suddenly her body surges with arcane power, and you see her eyes flare draconic. The hybrid form, sort of the horns curl back as that draconic power restores. And then she reverts back to the elven form again. She takes your hands and she points the blade at the mark on your chest, the same one that she bears over her own heart. And she places the blade there and just says, just will it. Let this be broken.
I definitely do so.
And the Warlock Pact is broken. You may decide what you want to do with those levels as you see fit.
I'm full rogue after that, baby. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think after Spy Tarkhal, absolutely.
Yeah, sloppy Spy Tarkhal. He needs to work on it, so he needs those extra levels into his rogue. Yeah, no, exactly. It was fun. It was really fun.
Wicked, man. And yeah, now that's it. Epilogue is yours. For how long? The Queen of Air and Darkness will probably want it back at some point in the future. You have also gained a friend / made an enemy of the greatest assassin in the Forgotten Realms, Artemis Intreri, famous literary character in a lot of Forgotten Realms D&D books.
I love that. Oh
yeah, man.
I can't believe he was him. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, I had another alternative. If things have gone really badly, I had another alternative that involved him. But
okay,
you guys did a good job. You did good rolls, good clever stuff. You know, a little bit ropey, and then we pulled it all back.
Yeah, a little ropey. Yeah, for sure. Oh, that was a lot of fun, Mark. That was great.
Thanks, man. It's always tricky with these because with the flashbacks, like you have to get to the ending, right? Like we know Tarkhal's gonna get epilogue. We know he's gonna like get back with Willowsong, or bring Willowsong back to Eveningstar. But what does that look like? I don't know. So we kind of know where it's gonna go. But it's fun to kind of like play around and like see those characters develop. And hey, maybe that relationship's gonna change a bit more now. Like, you know, we can make it a bit more sort of friendly and sort of, you know, Willowsong's still cautious. She still's like, you know, doesn't want to intrude on your personal life. So why she's maybe being a bit, you know, bit distant. But yeah, it's the opportunity is there. And you now also have a green dragon as an ally because she can now become her draconic form again.
We have a full green dragon for Eveningstar, and we have a key sword. I know we have epilogue, but we also have a key sword. I still have a key sword.
I forgot you kept the key sword.
I still have a key sword right now, dude.
That is just a mundane longsword, my guy. That's a very fancy looking longsword.
Well, but it's mine.
No, you know what you need to do? You need to give it to Clyve and tell him it's
the key sword. Yes, absolutely.
You need to be like, Clyve, you're the key sword wielder.
What if that's his one shot? Is like his flashback is how he gets the key sword.
I'll partner him up with like a duck man and a dog dude with a shield and a mage wand, and he has to have a big Kingdom Hearts adventure.
Oh, I love that.
I love the idea of like neither of us telling Nate about this, and then the next time we all play together, you're like, Clyve, I've actually got something for you. It's something I found in the Feywild. Yeah. I think you should have it.
Oh my goodness.
Present him the key sword.
I would love that.
Amazing. Yeah, perfect. I love it. And then even better, if that episode comes out before this flashback, everyone will be like, what's the key sword? Yes, yeah. What is it? And then this episode will come out and they'll be like, oh, for flip's sake.
It's just a long sword. That's it.
It's just mundane long sword. But it's like, you know, it's got a little bit of magic to activate the door, but it's not magical. Yeah. Or does it?
Oh,
maybe it just needs a pure heart to unlock it, and then it becomes
a pure heart from the Feywild.
Yeah,
that's why to me. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. Unlock the kingdoms. We love it. Go find Mickey. Brilliant. Right. Well, that's it. Sorry to keep you so late. I just wanted to wrap that up. Thank you very much, my dude.
Yes. Thank you, Mark. Thank you guys for watching.
Where they can find you.
You can find me at ShadyPenguinn.com, twitch.tv/ShadyPenguinn. I stream a lot right now, so if you want to see me yell at Pokemon, it's a lot of fun because I'm using
Pokemon
D&D rules.
D&D?
Yeah, Pokemon D&D rules. It's really fun. So awesome. It should be fun. Mark, what are they doing for you?
They can find me, SherlockHulmes, on the internet, pretty much most places. High Rolls D&D, that's my big show. We're getting back to it. We've had some big epic boss fights. Come and watch that. Maybe it's over. Maybe by the time this goes out, there's been a TPK and High Rolls is done. But I've got a new campaign. I got a new campaign coming. I got a website coming with like, I'm writing books now, man. I'm writing my own books.
Let's go.
So yeah, that's it. Keep an eye out on my Twitter and stuff like that. Thanks very much. We'll see you for more Knights of Eveningstar very soon. We love you. Take care. Goodbye. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.